Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 1:15. We're here a little bit earlier than normal, but welcome to the Saturday Super Stream, where we will be reacting to all of the football this afternoon, particularly as it pertains to championship matches. And we've got two of our dearly departed teams in action in the Premier League as well. Although my timing's all askew here because Leeds Chelsea has just gone to half-time. So we can have a look at that at the end of Luton versus Swansea, which we are going to be focusing on in the next sort of hour or so. Now, there is a slight timing issue again with this because, and hopefully he's okay, Dan Potts went down toward the end of the first half of Luton-Swansea with a head injury. And obviously the concussion protocol took around 7 or 8 minutes. So we are 7 or 8 minutes sort of behind schedule in terms of the second half starting. The score in that one thus far, let's bring up the numbers. It's Luton 0, Swansea 1. Conor Hourihane scores again for Swansea in just the third minute. You can see there Danda with the assist, getting in behind down in that left-hand side. Let's just go through the teams and whatnot here. So Luton matching up with Swansea's back three, although they have played a back three several times this season, haven't they? Sluga in goal. Pearson, Naismith, Mr. Man for all seasons, Mr. Versatile, is in the back three again. Potts obviously has gone off and Cressey has come in. So I'm guessing Naismith goes to that left-hand side now and Cressey plays down the right. Obviously, we saw him fill in beautifully in Sheffield United's promotion winning season. Is Chris Wilder still at Sheffield United? James Bree and Jordan Clark wide, and Panzu, Tunnicliffe, who's found his goal-scoring boots recently, and Dewsbury Hall with Cornick and the very promising-looking Adebayo up top. On the bench for Luton, Shea, Craney's obviously on, Berry, Ince, Morel, Ray, who you'd think would suit a back three quite nicely, Collins, who contract running down, not in the team, the main goal scorer there, Lualua and Nombe. Let's have a look at the Swans 11. Woodman in goal. Bit of rotation here. Norton, Bennett, Latabodia in the back four. So you can see Cabango on the bench there. You can also see Bidwell on the bench. He's sort of switching games, alternating games with Ryan Manning, it seems, at the moment, who starts at left wing back. The excellent Roberts at right wing back. Smith and Grimes. So Fulton steps out. So Cooper's really giving everybody minutes, or rather the opposite, trying to make sure that not the same people are getting all the minutes and getting tired. Danda and Hourihane off Ayew. So no Jamal Lowe either. If we look at the bench, you'll see a number of those players who one would consider first-team players, but the rotation and COVID squeezed up schedule, we are starting to see some tired-looking games, aren't we, recently? Hamer on the bench, Cabango, Cooper, Bidwell, Freeman, Fulton, Routledge, Lowe, Whittaker, Cabango, Bidwell, Fulton and Lowe, all arguably first-team players, rotated. Lots of appearances between those guys. And as things stand, Swansea are replying to Brentford's win last night in the best possible way, because they're heading for a three-pointer, which will put them to 69. Now, I haven't watched the first half of this, and I know there's some comments in there saying Luton aren't playing badly. So I will repeat my caveat. As things stand, Swansea going on to 69 points. Obviously, if you're a Brentford fan or a Watford fan, you're behind Luton in this one. There you go. Watford fans behind Luton for once. If you're a Norwich fan, you probably don't really care because you're so far ahead. But this race between Swansea, Brentford and Watford continues to be compelling, doesn't it? For Luton, 44 points look pretty safe, don't they? It would take something pretty miraculous in respects of a surge from a bottom three team and a collapse from the Hatters for that to become an issue. Let's get into the comments here. And we say thank you to Liam. What a legend. Do I start the water on the coat? Liam, about time I chip in for how much I watch. Have a coffee and pastry on me. Thank you, sir. Very, very kind. Up the Swans. We seem to be growing in this match. In the interest of balance, good luck to the Swans. Good luck to the Hatters as well. We have many friends in both camps here. But Liam, thank you so much for the super chat. You are the king of the bin. Let's see what you guys are saying. Get in there. Swans 1-0. That must have come in early. 20 in. Luton are much the better team. Defensive early misjudgment in the wind has cost them dear. Now, Chris, you know I live in Bedfordshire, don't you? So I'm only about 20 miles away from the stadium here. And it is damn windy, I have to say. Afternoon, Liam, watching his MK against Accrington. Accrington are hard to play against, Liam. But Chris says they have an injury crisis. And here, West Brom Palace duty. And he just loves Big Sam and Roy Hodgson, doesn't he? That should be attritional. Have your tactical head on for that one, and here after watching Allardyce versus Bruce last week, I can testify. You may have to concentrate. James, good afternoon, sir. Chris is back here. A more even second quarter. Swans ahead, but should be behind. An afternoon. Great community we have here. Gavin, Luton been the better side. Chris agrees with you. I think there's a group think that says that. Our lack of goals letting us down again. Interesting. Mr. E, Luton Swansea, a decent game in the first half. Home side wasteful. We're all on the same page with this then. I can't comment. I've seen the goal. That's about it. Swans finding a way again. And we have to tip our cap to the Swans who are able to do that. Match fixing in Sydney versus... Oh, dear. I know nothing about that, so I'll plead the fifth on that and not say anything incriminating to myself. There's Tom Ince warming up. He's been a great championship player over the years. Afternoon, Joel. Julian Leeds 2021. Play that funky music, Ben Boy. There we go. God, I've played that one a few times at gigs. Don't worry about that. William, Swans fan. Cooper needs to take Norton off, bring in Bidwell, play him centre half. Interesting. Okay. We know how hot Cooper is on, sort of tactically. Nothing seems to get past him. So I'm sure he'll have an eye on that. Afternoon, James, Purple Bungalow, Richie, Krissy Wilder, Red and White Army. What's happening with that? Have we literally got radio silence on Chris Wilder? There's not been an announcement, has there? I just put my video up yesterday. I mean, Jesus. Afternoon, Ben. Nice shirt. There we go. My thing, Liam, is if I just wear every colour, no one can accuse me of wearing the colours of any specific team. So, go look at the sleeve. You've got orange on the sleeve as well. That is quite pro-Luton, I guess, isn't it? But then I've got my white for Swansea as well. Afternoon, Lannister. Jerome, I'm good. Not much happening. Normal Saturday business. David, a great win for the Mighty Bees. Good win for Brentford last night. Back at it. Chelsea looked tired. So 0-0 at half-time in that one. Afternoon, Owen, I'm very well, thank you. Next, playing up a little bit, but I don't want to come in and whinge and whine about that. Respect to Dan Potts. Yeah, hope he's okay. And as well, I know we've had this with Christian Bielik at Derby this season. 2 cruciate. Bradley Dack has done his other cruciate ligament. Just awful news for Dack. So obviously, everyone watching this hopes. Poor guy. And same with Bielik. Literally 8 months rehab. Imagine the mental toll that must pay you. So good luck to Brad Dack. We're about to start the second half by the look of this. Timing was perfect. We're listening to Fatboy Slim. Nice. Favourite Fatboy Slim song, Jay? I like the one with Christopher Walken in the video, but I can't remember the name of it. Right, we're about to start the second half here. Adebayo kicks off. Enjoyed your podcast on Swans. Yeah, it's great. There's good podcast there, actually. you never quite know what you're going to get on a podcast, and you always tell, but very knowledgeable bunch of guys. Up the bees. Well done, Chris. Good win for your lot last night. Wilder here, still here now. Press conference, half one. What are they doing? Press conference about the press conference about the press conference. Right, let's get into this now. We're watching the second half. It's Luton 0, Swansea 1. As it stands, Swans going into second place. But everything I'm reading in the comments from people who watched the first half are commenting that Luton are well in this game, and just a little bit of a sort of a lapse early on. Here come Luton indeed down the right. Cornick crosses low, cleared away by, I think it was it Smith, I think, on the near post there. Pass. I will say some condensation issues on Sky's lens on the hard camera here. So watching this is going to be fun. I'm sure you're all suffering the same thing. Long throw in by Cornick. Adebayo, good flick on the near post. Great punch by Woodman. And God knows how this has been allowed to go. Woodman and the referee are wearing exactly the same colour. I can't believe the referee's wearing that colour, or Woodman haven't changed their tops there. That seems crazy in terms of pedantry and people seeing someone and thinking they're not the person that they're seeing. But what you going to do, brother? Here's Naismith. Naismith plays that one into Clark to Panzu. Made space on the edge of the box, hits the shot, charge down back with Craney. Let me just run you through these teams. Sluga in goal. So contrary to what it was in the first half, because of Potts' injury, so the three centre-halves are Naismith, Pearson and Craney. Craney on the right, I guess, Pearson in the middle, Naismith on the left. Luton with all the ball, actually, in this one. Clark plays it down the line. Cornick busy. Cornick comes inside onto the right foot. Good ball. Swan's back in shape. Craney clips it in. Good cross. Adebayo heads across and he is offside. Let me just continue through with the teams. The referee is referee Bond today. Let's hope we don't have to talk about any penalties because I'm sick to the back team of it, honestly. Clark and Bree are the wing backs. Was Adebayo offside there? Sorry, looked at that late there. Dewsbury Hall, Tunnicliffe and Panzu in the central midfield. Cornick and Adebayo up top. For Swans, Woodman, Norton, Bennett, Latibodier. So rotation in defence. Manning and Roberts wing backs. Smith and Grimes in the central sort of double pivot there. Hurahan, Danda, Ayew is the team. 48-18 gone. Let's have a look here in the comments. Watching Leeds on BT. Keep us updated there, Leeds 2021. Richie, good luck to Ipswich today. Ipswich have got to face Saturday Super Stream great Jeffcott today. It's Ipswich versus Plymouth. So if anyone wants an obvious bet, get on Jeffcott to score any time for Plymouth today. I don't know. I suppose you get about 5 or 6 to 1 on that. It's going to happen, isn't it? Come on. For long-term fans of the Super Stream. Weapon of choice, yes, with Chris Wilkin in. Thank you. Unfortunate for Dak, they'll start calling it, oh, yeah, it's just so, these guys, such a competitive industry, and all crossed in low for Cornick from Adebayo, just can't quite get there. The front two of Luton are really at it in this second half. Both of them moving off centre and pulling wide to assist the other. Adebayo, it's a great cross, that is. And Cornick just got to sort his feet out as to when he pushes off and, it's so close. When he pushes off and slides in for that. If I'm James Collins on the bench watching this, I'm thinking, hang on a minute, this partnership looks quite good up the top here. But Swansea are leading, all Luton in the second half here so far. Craney steps inside, looking for Dewsbury Hall, the Leicester loanee. He plays it to Naismith. former Wigan player with Paul Cook last season. And back it goes into Matty Pearson. Wide right. Bit of a hospital bull there, but Pearson does really well, actually. Steps out of defence and draws the foul there. Good play by Pearson. Corey Smith just sort of leans into him, but excellent work by Pearson. Stepping out. Being pedantic, referee is resplendent in fluorescent yellow, while Woodman in light green. They look the same colour to me, so corner of your eye, Chris. Maybe two luminescent shirts in the same game, but yeah, fair comment. Guay injured, okay. But still, Cabango rotated out purple bungalow. Just got it to a BT. Oh, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Pretty good coverage over there. Two current Ipswich players who have made the most EFL appearances of all time. You're talking about Skews and Chambers, I guess. Yeah, Luton very huff and puff, like that quality to make a difference. Yeah, perhaps, Russ, yeah. Perhaps there's an element of that. There's, I mean, you look at the goal scorer for Swansea is Hurahan, who's been promoted out of this division, but so is someone like Tom Ince, haven't they? But I guess that's where Luton are hoping to build to. But yeah, do agree. Sat in M&S car park waiting for my dad, enjoying the stream. Nice one, George. What did you get from M&S? Sounds good to me. Crossed in from the left over the bar. This looks like an attack versus defence training session, literally the entire second half. Let me bring the numbers up, see if I'm actually right. Seems to have been played in the Swans half. Yeah, look at that. Jesus. 79% possession for Luton in the second half. Swans sitting in, let's just say. And if this is any indication, I took the dogs for a walk around the lake earlier, and the swans, the ducks are laying eggs and mating, and the swans were very much guarding the lake from humans today. So if the Swans are going to guard their goal like that today, then maybe the clean sheet is on the cards here, if that's any kind of indication. Smith looking for Hurahan. Naismith comes out. Steve Cooper's clever, isn't he? He realises that up top, there's not a lot going on other than Ayew. Lowe had a good run before Christmas, didn't he? But he knows that Hurahan's a good finisher and he's got a good shot. And he realises that he's the player he's going to put in sort of dangerous positions. Little bit of looks like there's a bit of freedom for Hurahan, really. Obviously, Dander's playing 10. But with the double pivot with Smith and Grimes behind him, Hurahan has got a bit of freedom to exploit his quality. Best way to spend a Saturday afternoon, watch football on Facebook. Thank you, Alistair. Very, very kind. 25 quid a month, yeah, for your BT. God, you don't want to know what my Sky bill is. I have to have all of them to do this, so not that I'm complaining. Here's Pelly Ruddock. Clips it through. Cornick gets a good touch. Woodman out and off his line. And somebody is at the front door. Should we see what's going on at my front door? This is always a good fun segment in the show. The dogs are barking. Here's Hurahan, edge of the box. Good cover from Clark, and Naismith is going to get it clear. My Ring doorbell app has crashed. Never mind. Here comes Smith, manning down the left-hand side. Dander, edge of the box. Dander to Hurahan. That's poor from Hurahan. Him and Dander not on the same wavelength. And big drive away from Cornick. Lovely ball outside of his foot. Adebayo is onside. Adebayo into the box. Works the angle. All bit greedy there. There was a runner. Didn't quite see who it was, but who made up a hell of a lot of ground on that far side. And Adebayo's seen him, actually. Has a good look. Comes in on his right foot. Can he just slip that in? I think it was Ryan Tunnicliffe who'd made the run. And yeah, just a bit of lack of composure there for Luton and Adebayo. In the previous moment there, Luton nice sort of counter-attacking and vertical passing. We know they're good on transition, don't they? Punish teams like that before. It's almost preferable for Luton for Swans to actually step out a little bit, and they can work in that manner. And Panzu to Naismith. Naismith should give you a bit of extra quality, certainly from centre half. I'm not sure how he's defending will be as a centre back, but basically a left winger last year. Adebayo on the back post there. He does look like a dangerous customer, the ex-Fulham and Walsall player there. Peels off on the back post, finds the space, wins the header. Can't quite crane his neck and get it in to the far corner. Havertz has a shot saved. It's still 0-0 leads Chelsea, that great grudge match right from the 70s. Still investing in the Bournemouth v Barnsley. When is that, Benjani? Can you let me know when that is? Probably. Here is Roberts down the line for Mayhew. First time I've mentioned him in the second half. Unarguably, really, Swansea's best player. Hourihane crosses it in. Certainly Swansea's highest paid player from what we know. This has 2-0 Swans written all over it. As in sit in for the first 15 minutes and grab the second goal. Afternoon, Iain. Always good to have you here. Who are you watching today, Iain? Today, 3 p.m. I won't do any individual matches. We'll try and keep across everything today, Benjani. Hopefully you'll be watching for me, though. And here come Luton again. Dewsbury Hall, centre circle. Naismith, left centre-back coming forward. Crosses in from deep. Flicked up in the air, Adebayo wins the second header. It looks like there's something there for Luton with these early crosses. They're getting 4 men in the box there as that goes in. And if they can get the quality in from those wide positions, Adebayo's a handful, and if they can get other runners in there, seems to be some gaps there, doesn't there? Here's Mayhew. Pearson takes it off him, knocks it back home to Sluga in the goal. Mpanzu, Dewsbury Hall, Naismith. Naismith's going to try and run Hourihane. Gives up on that idea, and it's back with Sluga in the end. Luton building again down the right. Bree comes in field, gives it to Mpanzu. If anyone wants a time sync, let me know. Here's Manning. The wind is rattling around Bedfordshire. So I assume the stadium down there, not very high-sided. The wind's getting in there at Luton. Here's Norton. Lets that run for Smith. Back to Norton. Dander. Norton. Swans building up down the right. Roberts. Decent football, this. Hourihane. Clever ball around the corner. Mayhew. Roberts into the centre. Good play by Swansea there. I think it was Grimes actually coming off his deep midfield position there. Best bit of football Swansea have played in the second half. That nice, good numbers building up. Dander and Hourihane off centre and getting down the right. Grimes then into the box and couldn't quite get the shot off. Wind is blasting around Bristol. Wind is rattling around Cambridgeshire as well. Yeah, I think we got it right up the country. Oh, here's Hourihane in the box. He's better than that, isn't he? Didn't didn't really get hold of that shot at all. He opens up his body. It was Naismith who tries a quick restart. He actually tried to kick it against Smith. Silly. Ayew gets taken off him, and Grimes, good ball through. Hurahan completely gets that wrong. And Swansea just coming into it in the last 3-4 minutes of this one. Here's Cornick, crosses from the right for Luton. Their kind of go-to position is Adebayo on the back post, and get that cross in and try and find the big guy. Certainly, he's like 6'5" or something, isn't he? Adebayo is going to be a tricky customer for Championship teams going forward. Woodman has that covered as we'll give Cornick the benefit of the doubt and say the wind took that one. Oh, Chris, excellent. He's watching Bournemouth Barnsley over Millwall. Now, Chris, when I do things like that, I get accused of being a plastic fan and not watching Ipswich. So good luck to you, my friend. Of course you're not. You're a hugely knowledgeable fan. Ben, watched a bit on Wilder last night as the Blaze was touched with how much appreciation you had. You have more of a knowledge of Sheffield United than one of our fans who has his own. Oh, bless you. That's very kind, Ben. Look, as I said in my piece, I was there. I really, really was there, and I did see the end of that journey. So, obviously, with my team not being very good for a lot of years, you do get invested in these runs of other teams. Grimes with a long range wins the corner, and I had some great moments watching Sheffield United that season. So, I do, and I tried to take my emotions out of it. But I do know what he meant as a player and as a fan there to that club. So when Lockdown team, where do I normally sit at Luton? That's a complicated answer, which I'll answer in a minute. Corner comes in. Oh, it's a dreadful corner and hits referee Bond. Referee Bond gets a bit lucky, but here come Luton on the counter still. Because it bounces back to a Luton player. Good refereeing in the end. Cornick, low cross, big chance. Oh, should have scored there, Clark, on the near post. Luton are so good counter-attacking, aren't they? Nathan Jones knows they should have scored there as well. Oh, so the counter-attack started with the ball hitting referee Bond. It's worked down the right hand side. It's a great cross by Cornick. Oh, he's got to score that, Clark, hasn't he? Oh, dear. He closes his eyes, maybe. So it's really good play initially because the centre forward is out on the right. You get the right wing back with the underlap. It's a great cross again by Cornick. And Clark has just got to steer that in the corner, flick header. Dare I say, Andre Ayew probably would have put that in the corner, wouldn't he? I know James Collins would have as well. But big chance for Luton. Should have scored there. Anyway, where do I normally sit at Luton? So normally here comes Adebayo down the left-hand side as a hailstorm. Looks like it's starting now. Inclement weather, I think they'd say. Here's Clark again. Should have scored a minute ago. Into the box, headed out. They're definitely working these Swansea centre-backs. There's a foul there on Manning, I think, but referee Bond Dander plays the advantage and then starts again. So I sometimes sit in the middle of the main stand towards the back, far enough back so the posts are quite far away from me. I have had a few games where I've been in the David Priest bit in the corner, but you have to be really, really careful there because if you go too far over close to the main stand, it's literally the floodlight pylon is in the way. I don't know if Brian is in the chat here. Brian is sometimes in the hospitality boxes on the other side. So if you see Brian in the chat, befriend him because he'll get you the best seat in the house at Luton. Put it that way. But yes, I will happily bowl up to the new stadium off the M1 anyway to go and watch Luton in the future. But full of character, that stadium. Right, double sub by Steve Cooper. So Hurahan and Danda out, Fulton and Lowe in. This is where the rotation really works, doesn't it? Because you're now bringing in two first-team players at 65 minutes. with a lead, which is a very desirable position to be in. Maite has all but confirmed himself to be in the squad. Good news for you Royals fans. Team news will be coming in about 13 minutes. We'll look in detail at the teams, obviously, when this one's finished. We were expecting this to be finished a little bit early, sort of around 2:15-ish today with the 12:15 kickoff. But because of the concussion protocol and the delay for Potts, we might be a little bit behind where we thought we would be. Shame about Wilder, understandable in the circumstances. Shame we can't see him back. Yeah, it is a shame, actually, in the Championship. He's been a good one to watch. Another miss. Indeed, Russ should have scored that one, shouldn't he? Clark, the ex-Stanley player there. Leeds going to play one of these nearly games where they miss a few chances. Chelsea eventually win. Anybody watching that game, keep me posted on that. I've got it up on the iPad, but it'll be a couple of minutes behind. 58-25, it says 0-0. Cardiff, Watford, good, James. Yeah, keep an eye on that for us. That's going to be a really, really interesting one. I'm thinking the Fylde Coast Derby, Blackpool, Fleetwood. Interesting. Check out our friend Nappers on that one. Mad keen Fleetwood fan. Great watch. What else have we got? Have I ever been to St James's Park? Which one? Exeter or Newcastle? To be fair, I've been to neither. So, no. Where anyone sits at Luton is behind a post with their knees. You imagine being Mick Harford trying to sit in one of those seats, hey? Come on, you Hatters. Good luck to you, Matt. Right, we'll get a little bit more of the game, and then I'll come back into your comments. I've got one about Ziyech coming up next. Ziyech. No, let's not get into the pronunciation pedantry. 67 gone. Here's Pelly Ruddock down the left-hand side. Ooh, nice ball. You can see, okay, right, you can see how heavy the wind was there because he clipped it inside. It's turned over, actually, crossed in. So, yeah, you can see the crossing thing here for Luton. If they are crossing in, the wind is blowing into Woodman's goal, it looks like. So if you put an outswinger on, it will get a little bit of extra movement on it. Corner to the Hatters, 67:52 on the clock. In it comes left-footed, easy for Woodman. Good keeper, Freddie Woodman. I suspect if Newcastle are relegated, you might see Dubravka sold and Woodman in the team, maybe in the Championship. Although if Swansea go up, I'm sure there'll be a bid going in, won't there? Roberts, Ayew. Good strength by Ayew, quality player. Carries it forward. Grimes inside the foot. It's a brilliant pass by Grimes to Manning. Good goalkeeping by Sluga. Just good play all around there by all concerned. Excellent ball by Grimes. Manning, good run. And Sluga, good goalkeeping there. It's good by Ayew in the build-up, actually. We need to be praising everybody for that. Very good save there. In fact, he saves it and then bounces back, hits Manning again, and then hits Sluga again. So kept his body in the way. I saw Sluga's debut actually for Luton. I was there. Needless to say, he wasn't very good, and he's improved. He's improved a lot. Let's just say. Here's a corner for Swans. James Collins is going to come on. So attacking sub, main goal scorer here for Luton. It's coming for Cornick. I thought Cornick was playing quite well, actually. And now, if you're Swansea, you know you're facing Collins and Adebayo up front. So big aerial threat now for Swans to face. In comes the corner, though. Oh, Sluga lost that on the back post there. He's right up in Jamal Lowe's face. I think suggesting he was impeded, but I think his pride's taken a fall there. To be fair, I think Lowe maybe has got hold of his. Oh yeah, no, we've seen this before from Lowe, haven't we? What was the game where one of the keeper's arms was held back? Was that Swansea? I can't remember. I think it might have been actually. Was it Raya and Brentford? I can't remember. We have seen that before though, haven't we? Worried about my terps consumption. What's a terp? I don't know what you mean, Iain. Anyone smarten me up? Being cliche about Kenny, haven't actually been yet. Oh no, no, you're right, David. Maybe next season if Cook works his magic. Well, we always lose to Luton anyway, don't we? Molineux is the worst ground I've been to for away fan. They're constantly moving the away stand in Molineux, aren't they? But yeah, it used to be along the old Steve Bull, and now it's in that massive one behind the goal. I can't quite remember. It's a while since I've been to Molinox. What's my Barnsley-Bournemouth score today? Biggest game. Do you know, I think I went Bournemouth, Ewan. I've been wrong before, though. Have I ever watched Friday Night Dinner? Is that anything to do with the In-Betweeners? Or am I thinking of something else? I haven't. When you play Football Manager or FIFA, we said, hey, I had to quit Football Manager, Charlie. I spent a long hour on that game, showing my age there, whatever you call it. Oh, my bottled water. It is water, I promise. That is a Costco 40-pack. I would highly recommend it. Oh, they've put them back in the lower tier of the old Steve Bull. I always thought it was quite funny S-housing what Blackburn used to do, where you'd get stuffed at the top of that stand right at the back, as far away from the pitch as possible. Same at Newcastle, isn't it? Here's Mayhew. Tackled by Naismith, throw in for Swans. And the clock is ticking down. And these teams on the chase, I'm talking Swansea, Brentford and Watford, they're just churning their way through these games now, aren't they? In the words of Brian Clough before Forest's second European Cup final win, just win. That was the team talk. Just win. We're in that mode now, aren't we? Here's Mayhew down the right. Naismith knocks it out. 72-50. I've been at both St James's. In Newcastle, we had concrete thrown at us. Oh, dear. But someone should do a podcast, stories of Millwall fans. I'm sure there is one out there. Here's Mpanzu bringing it away. Clips it down the line. Adebayo wins the header. Surely Dewsbury Hall was climbing on Smith there. He claims he wasn't, but I don't believe him. He knows better than that. Good player, though. Kiernan, not Kieran, as I've called him. Misnamed him many times. Kiernan, Dewsbury Hall. Chris, both Brentford and Swans deserve a lot of credit. Grinding out the win. Still fancy Watford with their squad. I think everyone just wants to get to the international break now, don't they, Chris? This game and then 2 more. And then 8 to go, and can have a bit of a rest. And perhaps we might see a bit more quality in some of the games. Lowe plays that across. Dewsbury Hall nicks it away. Good drive out from him. Clark plays it up the line. So Luton on transition. Here they come. Tunnicliffe down the left. Lulls Lowe in there. Good play by Tunnicliffe. Cuts it back into the box. And Panzu arriving and... looked like he went 50-50. Panzu's just laughing. Looked like he went 50-50. I don't know who was tracking him, actually. It might have been Roberts. If it was, that was great cover from right wing back. But and Panzu has been penalised for the foul. Good play by Tunnicliffe. You can tell Lowe's not a defender, can't you? Yeah, it was the left wing back, wasn't it? It was Manning. Yeah, he just gets there. Well, a millisecond ahead of Mpanzu, doesn't he? One more millisecond, and we've got another Bidwell versus Saville incident, which I don't really want to talk about anymore. I don't want to talk about it. Here's Cressey. Given away there. Fulton's got it. Fulton down the line. Is that going to break for Manning? No, just took a deflection on the way through. Pearson spots it. And here he comes driving out of defence. He thinks he's Chris Basham, doesn't he? Plays that forward. Not a great ball for Collins. And Mayhew coming over the halfway line. Ooh, nice idea by Mayhew there. Just tried to curl it around Cressey. Didn't quite make it. Here's Dewsbury Hall. Tunnicliffe to Adebayo. And Clark, who had that big chance from the header, didn't he? Didn't even hit the target. Dewsbury Hall. Oh, good drive by him. Gets by Grimes easily. Dewsbury Hall tries to cross it. Grimes has done well to get back. And yeah, good play by Matt Grimes there. To Roberts, who gets plenty of distance, kicking into the wind there. Lowe is trying to work Pearson and Naismith, but Naismith comes away with it. A little clip in by Clark. Adebayo versus Bennett. Adebayo in the end has to concede a throw-in. I think Luar is going to come on. Imminently. Dewsbury Hall to Cressey. Team news now breaking. Cressey to Bree, Tunnicliffe. And Pansy tries to backheel. They're still at it. Here, Luton. Naismith to Mpanzu drills that goalwards. He hit that really hard, but really wide. Afternoon, Peanuts. My son's a Newcastle fan, so I've been there a few times. Got home at 7 a.m. on a Thursday. Nice. I was at Exeter Road. Wow, dearie me. Worst away ground chat. I will not get involved in such things, but you can nominate Selhurst Park if you want. I always sit in the top tier of that Holmesdale end at Selhurst Park. I find that's the best view there. Don't like to sit behind the goal, but if you get in that first little bit across the front row, there's a good view up there. Upper tier away at QPR is grip. Yeah, I have to sit in the I have to sit in the platinum seats, I'm afraid. And you've still got posts in your way at QPR there as well. There is the great Mick Harford, who's sort of like the honorary president, really, of Luton, isn't he? What a player he was. Here's Lowe coming away on the right-hand side. Lowe to Roberts. Roberts knocks it back and easily defended by Luton. And here comes Mpanzu. Mpanzu plays it out to Bree, gets it back again. Here's Dewsbury Hall. Swansea sitting back again. Fair bit of space here for Clark on the left. Clark. Nice cross, looking for Adebayo. Collision between Smith and Adebayo in the box there. Nothing given by referee Bond. Here comes Mayhew up the other end. And Dewsbury Hall now, and Luton come again. Clark tries to feed that one through. And Grimes. Grimes in deep central midfield. That's poor ball by him. To be fair, he slipped as he played that one, Grimes. He gives it straight back to Luton, who are having, well, as they have had for much of the second half, plenty of the ball, but that real big chance for Clark. They didn't hit the target, did they? And Swansea defending this lead with all their might. Tunnicliffe surely is going to be flagged offside when he touches that. He was not. And he drives it across the box. Right, let's see. Are we going to get to see that collision between Smith and Adebayo again? No, apparently not, according to Sky. Here's Clark, Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall to Pearson. Elects not to cross. Breeze really narrow. Adebayo is down again. Nothing given. Here's Mpanzu. Tries to beat Grimes. Grimes does really well. Ooh. I think Mpanzu might get booked for that one there. I think it was a fairly genuine attempt to slide across and try and get the ball. I don't know what Latibodia is doing here because Mpanzu's trying to pick Grimes up. All the Swansea players are rowing about it. Right, we get to see this again now. In it goes into the box. Ugh. So it was Norton, I think, threw himself into a header then, bumped into Adebayo. I'm sure that means uproar and 7,000 tweets because someone touched somebody else in the penalty box. But hey, let's not go down that road again. Woodman, goal kick, 82-37. We'll blame the wind for that one. He's just booted it straight onto the roof of the stand. Thank you for getting your lineups in, guys. We've got one Blues lineup for Ricky, one from Anir as well. We'll go through properly there. Karanka gone quite attacking. I will steal your opinion when I read that later, John. I won't steal it. I'll reference it. John knows more about Birmingham than what I do. So does Ricky. And Iain knows more about Bristol City than what I do as well. That's the beauty of this, though, isn't it? Hey, we can pool knowledge. Manning has stolen that one. Plays through the lines nicely. Here's Lowe. Good looking break this for Swansea. Ah, Lowe, that's silly. Drills the shot. Roberts was outside him with Ayew already in the box. And I think there was another arriving as well. The ball was on, out to Roberts to just clip it into the box. Anyone know the last time 3 promoted championship clubs went straight back down? I do not. Has it ever happened? A bit boring, isn't it? We're on for it this season. And Fulham are playing Man City today, so we don't give them too much hope. Good luck to them, though. Mr. Bond has only given 2 penalties all season. Maybe that's what we should do for referees. They should have a finite amount of penalties that they can give. You can only get 1 penalty per game. That's it. Get it done. End of story. 1981, the year when plastic pitches were the future. You ever done a slide tackle on that Astro stuff? Oh, God. Painful. Here's Norton, right back position. Roberts. Grimes is miles out, smashes the ball into the scoreboard. I think Swansea quite happy to take a few long shots now, a few pot shots, and just defend this lead. So now we go through the rigmarole of 8 super slow motions of 2 players bumping into each other in the penalty box, with one trying to go for a header and the other trying to chest it. Here's Roberts. Roberts, surely he's got pulled there by Naismith. Does well to draw the foul there. Oh, no, it's gone the other way. Beg your pardon. He would have done well to draw the foul, considering it's gone the other way. Yeah, I'm not sure it's happened either. Careful, Ben. Refs will be like traffic wardens trying to fill their quotas. Get the penalty done in the first minute, and then that's it. Free for all in the box after. Good ball by Mpanzu. Here is Luar in a right wing position. He wins a throw in. 87-10. Here's Naismith. Naismith to Adebayo out on the left wing. 87-55 on the clock. Here is Naismith again. Drives that one with the right foot. A very low percentage chance taken on with his weaker foot. Russ. Not like you to be cynical, Russ. Luton won't play if they score till next month. Or Luton won't score if they play till... Well, that shot may intimate that there's something in what you've just said. I'll give you that one. Well-timed comment. Leeds will stay up. Yeah, of course they will. Oh, we're talking about promoted teams. Yeah. Has it ever happened where all 3 have gone down? Someone will tell me. Rule should be added. 1 player can make rugby tackles. Who would I nominate for Ipswich? I think anyone who's seen Ipswich and seen our wonderful centre-back Toto Nsiala play, he's already made a few rugby tackles, I think, bless him. Connor Roberts has ended up 5 steps up the stand there. I think he may slightly be exaggerating, but there you go. Sky have named Kiernan Dewsbury Hall man of the match. Let me know your man of the matches. Bear in mind, I've only watched 45 minutes of this one. So I'll plead the 5th. I nominate the keeper. Which one? Not often a losing team player is man of the match. No. Especially not on TV. We're into stoppage time, of which there will be 4 minutes. Can Luton fashion a big chance? And can they get it on target? Oh, Guy Branson. Did Guy Branson used to play for Colchester as well, Iain? I know he used to play for Rotherham. Oh, nice one, Chris. 97-98, all promoted teams relegated. Brilliant. Who were they? Actually, let me see if I can try and name them. 97-98. Nottingham Forest. Middlesbrough. Was that 97-98 or was it 98? Was it Forest, Borough and Charlton? Oh, no, that was the next season. Bolton, Barnsley, Palace. Well done, Chris. Google. Google is your friend. Here's Naismith. 1 minute of stoppage time gone. Here's Luar down the left. Boxer tricks. I nominate the fourth official. Who is it? Is it referee Langford? Surely they've got him on. What's the most important game today? Bournemouth and Barnsley. Nathan Jones appears to actually be pulling out his hair. Big header on halfway. And it's through to Sluga. 92.06 on the clock. Luton coming forward now. Big boot forward into the box. Good header by Norton, clear. Grimes wins it. Mayhew, great ball by Mayhew with the outside of his left foot to Roberts. Not such a great ball by Roberts. He's actually out of position now. If Luton can get it up the line, they cannot. Back in shape now, 92-30. Here is Bree. We are nearly in the last minute of minimum stoppage time. We are in the last minute of stoppage time. Right, a bit of space from Panzu. Can he get a decent ball in? In it goes. Adebayo heads it goalwards. He got the right line on that, but not enough power. And Woodman dives on it. Makes the save. Just held up in the mud as well, didn't it? Definite threat, though, Adebayo, if they can get him good service in there. He's dominated in the air, hasn't he? Here is Mpanzu, switches the play. 10 seconds of minimum stoppage time remaining. Booted forward, and that is going to go all the way out. And it's a goal kick, and referee Bond blows his whistle. And in the space of about 18 hours or whatever it was since Brentford played, two very churned out 1-0 away wins, the teams at the top. We're at that point in the season now where everyone's a little bit tired. Everyone's a little bit nervous. The stakes are very, very high. And like last night, a goal in the first 10 minutes. Luton had loads of possession in the second half, forced one big chance, and they didn't get it on target. So Swansea managing to sit in, another clean sheet, and another win for Swansea and Steve Cooper. And they now go into games against Bournemouth and Cardiff next. It's going to be a fun old week for Swansea, and they've started it in the best way possible with a win and a clean sheet at Kenilworth Road. Excellent work from Swansea. They get the job done again. You need to give them credit for that. That's what good teams do in the end, isn't it? There's your numbers. 56-44 on the possession. 12 shots to 8 in Luton's favour. 5 shots to 2 on target. 7 corners to 4. Look at that. 2 big chances to 1. All of the underlying numbers are in Luton's favour. But remember, when you go 1-0 up after 3 minutes, the game state changes and you can sit back and say, well, go on then, score against us. And that was the game from minute 4 onwards. The game was, can Luton score? And the answer was no. So Swansea get the victory. There is the league table. And 69 points now for the Swans after 35 games. Very good. That's 1 off 2 points per game. Let me just do my projection. They're going to be above 90 points now on a quick points per game projection, aren't they? 69 from 35. 69 divided by 35 times 46. 90.68 Swansea are projecting. They are really, really getting the job done ever so well. Look at that, 10 points from the last 4. And there's some sense not playing that well and they're getting 10 points in 4. That's what you have to do at the end of the season. We're coming into the 90th minute. Leeds versus Chelsea is 0-0. And Sky have just flashed up a very revealing graphic. The first 2 weekend fixtures, 2 of those teams in the top, the race for that second place, essentially, both churning out 1-0 away wins with early goals. Luton stick on 44 points. Look how tight it is in the middle there. Look, 44, 44, 44, 45, 46, 46. So Luton are in a little sort of 5 or 6 team mini league there with Millwall, QPR, Bristol City, Blackburn, Preston. Anyone who can get around 1.6 points per game could jump up 5 places in the last 11 games. Right. That's about the size of it. Let's have a look at some of your comments. What have we got going on here? I think Ryan Bennett has been... Okay, I'll rephrase that for you. I think Ryan Bennett should have been man of the match. Not a coincidence. We get a clean sheet again. Nice. This will be controversial as a Swans fan. Hoping for a Cardiff win over Watford. Not surprised. Let's rephrase that. That feels disrespectful. Luton probably not the best in front of goal today. Didn't take the chances. Did they? Agree with that. Massive. Yeah, well done. You got to be respectful of when it's your team doing it, grinding out results. People say that's the sign of a good team. When it's not your team, they talk about luck, and there you go. Undeserving, but it's a results part of the season. Agree with that, Russ, 100%. And let's be honest, some of these squads just look knackered, don't they? They really do. Quality and excitement of this lead is plummeting. You need to give the players some credit, though, Chris. They've barely had. It's been Saturday midweek. They've barely even had a midweek off, let alone a week off, just all season, have they? So. I don't think the excitement's plummeting. No, absolutely not. But a little bit of quality struggling today. Referee Langford is 4th official at Forest versus Reading. Stroud has Cardiff versus Watford. There we go. Keep an eye on those 2. Well, Ben, what was your thoughts on the penalty? What penalty? There was no penalty. Flesh that out a little bit more, Nick, in your question. Swan's doing the bare minimum again, but I'll tell you what, fair play for Luton for creating chances. A late season trip to Kenny is difficult for any side. Thought we kept Shapewell late second, kept Shapewell all season. Luton were the better team throughout at the moment. If Swans trod in, they would come up smelling of roses. You can't say the title is finished with how results are going. Yes, I can. It is. Norwich are going to win the title, clearly, aren't they? I think that's a little bit of fan anxiety and insecurity chipping in there, Chris, as you go into your game tomorrow with 23rd place Sheffield Wednesday looking for an 8th win on the trot. I think we can be okay with the title if you're an outside detached observer. Credit to Swansea, thought they would have dropped off by now. They're doing it, aren't they? Doing it. Fair play for Luton. They're fantastic on the ball, but we keep winning, and it's amazing. Second best yet again, yet we win again. I'm not enjoying this. Enjoy it, Steve, for goodness sake. As I said about Swansea's current sort of performances, one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to stop winning or the performances are going to improve. And I think they just need to, like many teams, they just need to get through this next week, and then there's the international break. And we can have a little bit less knackered. But let's be honest, even when the players are fresh and haven't done a COVID league starting in September with loads of postponed games, etc., we do get these nervy end of season games. It does feel like the nervy games have started a little bit earlier than normal this season, haven't they? John, you're the first person to actually compliment us. Shane, that's nonsense. I've complimented Swansea many, many times. Tom, story of our season, not taking chances. Agreed. Watford are going to smash Cardiff. Make my word. Make my word. Okay. Just grinding out the wins. I just think credit has to go to the team that keeps doing that. Is it really bad play when it happens so often? No, exactly. Normally when the pattern continues for a while, it's not luck, is it? What else have we got here? Someone explain to me how many points Sheffield Wednesday have with the deduction. Just add on 6, Sharif. Without the deduction, they would have 34 points. So they'd still be in the relegation zone, actually, to be fair. Kate, this is a thought that's been borne out. If Luton could actually score, they would be dangerous. Agreed. Yeah, certainly Clark should have scored that chance. I've got strong feelings on the penalty debate and how fans are essentially gaslighting it at the moment. So I'm going to try not to get involved too much because it's so tedious. I'll rephrase it. Do you think Luton should have had a penalty on Adebayo? No, I don't think so. No. I just think we're at the point now where it's just getting ridiculous and we can't have a sensible conversation about penalties, because what's happening is the more and more borderline penalties that get given, the more and more fans are now literally appealing for every single bit of contact in the box to be a penalty. And it just feels to me like, do you know what it feels like? It feels quite similar to hearing people talk about social matters and politics on Twitter, where people are just so extreme on their views, and you get the same people. So honestly, you're getting the same people that are saying that Swansea shouldn't have had any penalties, then for exactly equivalent borderline decisions are now saying that everything should be a penalty. And it's starting to become a ridiculous debate now, because there's just no credibility to it, because we can't have it both ways. We can't have there's too many penalties and they're too soft, and then at the same time have the same fans. And I'm not accusing Nick or anyone who's commented on this for doing it. We can't then have the same fans where literally any leg touching a leg, any arm touching another player, any collision in the box, people are just wanting penalties for everything now. And if that's the case, I'm sorry, they need to shut up when soft penalties are given, because you can't. Do you know what I mean? You can't ask for the earth and then complain when someone else gets given the earth. That's what's happening now, and we're at the point now. And I suppose referees are a little bit to blame because there's so many soft penalties, especially in the Championship. We've got this issue where it feels like referees in the Championship are trying to give the equivalent of penalties that get given by VAR in the Premier League. And then you get fans jumping on top of it, where every pull and push, you know, I went on Twitter last night, every pull and push now is 1,000 tweets. And it's not that borderline decision could have been a penalty. It's, oh, this was a definite penalty. I am outraged. This is awful, awful, terrible stuff. And then you do get Sky, bless them, with their brilliant 8K HD cameras showing 8 super slow-mo replays of every little touch in the box. And it's got ridiculous now. It really, really has got ridiculous. Now, I think people need to have a look at what they're saying. I try my absolute utmost to call every single one, hopefully as accurately as I can, as it pertains to the, the state of play in 2021 and what I actually feel a penalty should be. I know that those two things are literally not the laws of the game, but it just feels silly now. It feels very, very silly, and it feels like, and honestly, doing these streams, as someone who's commentating on it, I know at any point during a watch along, there's going to be a borderline contact in the penalty box. And I now know that there's going to be 20 comments saying that it should be a penalty, because this is where we've got to now in VAR world, where every contact and everything. So I think, and this is always a good place to start with this, I think we need to get to a point. I must just say, Nick, I'm totally not picking on you at all. I'm totally not picking on you. I'm really, really not. I'm just saying a wider sort of broader point. If you feel, I do apologise, Nick. You just literally asked about. I'm just having a rant about penalties in general, because this is where we are now, and this is how I feel as someone commentating on this. That we're now at a point where the standard for a penalty is dropped so low that every fan, every TV pundit is saying everything's a penalty. And you know what it looks like. If I bump into you in the supermarket, and just tap you, and you run that in super, super, super slow motion, you'll be able to make it look like something that it wasn't. And I just think it's getting silly now. And I think the debate is silly as well, where we're having something that everyone knows is borderline. And people, then we know people exaggerate to make their point, but then all of a sudden it's a stonewall penalty and it's a disgrace and referees are frauds and even worse things. And it's just not a conversation that's worthwhile even having if we can't say, look, these are borderline decisions and the standard for penalties is dropping way, way down. That needs to be our starting point. Anyway, that was a huge long rant about penalties. Apologies, Nick. I understand stuff. Honestly, Nick was just asking about the decision. My big response was nothing. I know Nick's a good guy, but this is where we've got to. Chris said, that said, Ben, it was a foul on Iain Baylor. Look, whether it was or wasn't a foul on Iain, fine, whatever. As long as we can admit these are borderline decisions that people are now all, piling in on, and we get this craziness. Calm down, Ben. Nick unwittingly dislodged the cap of a volcano. But do you guys agree with me? Do you guys agree with me that we've got to a point now, and I'm not accusing any one person or one group of fans of doing it. We have a point now where we have the same people who are outraged about soft decisions given against their team. The same people are outraged at comparably soft decisions not being given for their team. And that's where the debate becomes not credible at all for me. That's disingenuous. That is intellectually dishonest. And we need to have a credible debate. Fans need to stand up and say, when they get a soft penalty, that was a soft penalty. Even that was a 2021 penalty. And then when they don't get a decision, I don't want to hear, blatant penalty, rah, 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 stonewall penalty. I want to hear, okay, that was borderline, but in 2021, we see them given. Then we can have a reasonable debate. But yeah, woof. Sorry. Calm down. You won't bang into somebody in the supermarket, Tim. Actually, I'm very grumpy in the supermarket when someone comes within 2 meters of me. Sorry, that was a big rant. I'll clip that and put it up later. But I'm trying to be reasonable about this, and I try to be reasonable about. I can't talk now. I've ranted so much. I try to be reasonable about all these penalty calls, and it's getting very, very hard when someone sneezes on someone and like half of Twitter, literally 150 comments. That's a blatant penalty, isn't it? Deary me. That's probably the issue, Chris, isn't it? I know you say leave your bias at the door, but you'll never get there with 95%. And I understand that, Chris. I do understand people's passion, but people need to understand that if their overriding motivation for their views is passion for their team, they need to understand that they're not going to be able to be involved in a credible conversation where they can't say, okay, I understand it's for my team and I'm a bit vexed about everything else. So there we go. Can you imagine VAR in the Championship and we not only have penalty shouts, but at the handball, well, there's a whole another Pandora's SHIT box, isn't there, Ricky? Even if it was my team, I wouldn't call for a soft penalty because I don't want to see it in the game. I think it's horrible. There's too many penalties, isn't it? Too many. And all I want is for the debate to be sensible. And let's be honest, here is a place where it's pretty damn sensible, I have to say. I try and not regulate it because I believe everybody who comes in this chat has a right to an opinion. Like Chris and I respect Chris greatly, and hopefully he does me. We disagree about the Niambe penalty call last night. That's fine. He may be right, I may be wrong. Other way round. Fine. As long as we can frame it in a way that's sensible and understands that that borderline decisions are. It feels like the standard is moving, and I want to say getting lower and lower for penalties. And I'm sure someone can produce me some numbers with a quick Google to say that there's way more penalties in the past 2 years than there has ever been before. Have you noticed that since you published your list of which referees, Mr. Langford has been... I hope I'm not responsible in any way. I only get annoyed when very clear penalties are not given. Otherwise, I just say send them given and move on. Totally, exactly. I think we need to give referees credit when they're borderline, and when it's Jake Bidwell and George Saville and both of their feet are arriving at the same time, and there's no VAR to help him. I think we need to calm the hell down, don't we? And the slow motion replays don't help because that's literally not fair on referees, is it? Because the referees literally do not see those decisions. And we see fans and they get more, they come from the position immediately if they want the penalty to be given because of their implicit bias towards their team. So that's their starting point, which is not the same starting point as the referee either. And then they see the 165, 8K, 25 angle slow motion replays, which is great TV, isn't it? So, dearie me. Right. I'm going to calm down and I'm going to apologise again to Nick if he's still in the chat. Promise. That's been building up for weeks. That with the Swansea getting those 3 late penalties, and we had that. To be honest, since the Reading Sheffield Wednesday game earlier in the season, where there could have been 4 as well. Liam makes a good point there. Social media is another issue, and I think people like me need to accept that social media is just fantasy land. It is absolute fantasy land, and that I should not sit there and read a thread about penalty decisions because a lot of the comments on there are just massively ridiculous, aren't they? So that's on me. I need to calm down. But I like to think that the standard of people who are in these streams here are talking sense. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully we do get a good standard here. The whole penalty debate is getting silly now. Yeah, I totally agree, Steve. And what we're getting is VAR-like decisions without VAR. It's crazy, isn't it? They have to be guessing. and they have to be looking at what's going on in the Premier League and what's getting given with VAR and saying, oh, well, I think once there's 10 replays, that would probably get given, so I need to give that. Mental. I think the standard of referees has declined, which has hindered the situations like the penalties. We need the ref. The standard of everything has declined, David. The standard of the debate has declined. The standard of refereeing has declined. The standard of understanding generally of the rules has declined. The standard of behaviour of the players then tries to advantageously work all of those declines. So they're now exaggerating things more. Everything has declined. Have a drink, please. I can't have a drink. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, but not here. The Niambi one was borderline. However, ref's view was, well, there we go. And maybe if I get to see 5 VAR things, I'd change my mind. Again, but I can accept some people will think that was and some people that think that wasn't. As long as we're accepting it's borderline, you know, and as long as we're accepting that not every single player who lays a hand. I've got to the point now where if I see someone running in the penalty box and I do the freeze frame for my review shows and the hand is on the shoulder, I've got to the point where I say, oh, well, that's probably a penalty. And it could literally be the same as that there. But if you take the freeze frame at the point where he touches them, you can argue it's a penalty. Why is his arm? You can also argue it's a red card because he's not trying to play the ball there. Nick, I'm sorry, honestly. Crying in my dark room for me. Totally agreed, by the way. Yeah. Right. I think I should stop now. We have a good point on standards together. And it's the whole thing, David. It's the whole thing. It's several factors all playing into each other. In fairness, there used to be the same debate in the 70s, but now there are multiple replays on dedicators, which matters absolutely. Absolutely. And we've had penalty. There we go. There it is, penalty. And we've had some comments. I remember seeing a comment, I think, from a Leeds fan earlier in the season. And they said, Ben, what do you... Apologies if it was you, whoever in the chat. And they said, Ben, what do you think about making the penalty box smaller? This is ridiculous. And I read it and I thought, oh, madness, whatever. And now I'm like, okay, maybe we do need to make... Maybe we do need to make the penalty box smaller. Maybe the penalty box needs to be 12 yards. And you're starting to get these madcap ideas of, you know, how do we do it? Refs need the fans back to help make the decisions. Absolutely, they do. Rant reward. Chris, Nick, I'm sorry. Deary me. It's just been vexing me for a while. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know whether when I'm this hyper and this ramped up about this stuff, that I should open another one of these. Oh, dear. Right. Calm down. And I'm the first person to say, well, to someone like me who's ranting about it, okay, shut your mouth ranting and suggest some possible ways of improving it. So, excellent. We've got a comedian in the chat here. The geezer, are you related to Louis XV of France? No. My heritage is very much British. But thank you for your comedy interjection there. I'm going to pick a game, watch it and type pen. But you could, Nick. You could, couldn't you? Because every corner, someone will hold someone. Literally every single corner. God forbid they tug their shirt. So, yeah, they need to crack down on diving. Everyone's doing it, aren't they? You get touched in the box, go down. No, I'm not throwing Nick under the bus, bless him. I think VAR across Europe was a good idea in theory. It was really open Pandora's box. Yep, totally agree. Ranting is Ben's only form of exercise. You're telling me. Here's a question: should refs be microphoned up to hear why they? I think the refs being microphoned up would help the players not being, you know, pricks basically to the refs a little bit. But we know what referees are like. They'll just say, and I've said this before, whoever asked the question, David, they'll just say, in my opinion, I am giving a penalty because on the balance of probability, I believe that number 4 committed a foul against number 11. They'll just word it like that, won't they? And will learn absolutely nothing. Ben burning people in the chat. I love the chat. I love the chat. Team news. Right. He's right, Liam. Is it 2:30? It's 2:42, Liam. Why have you been winding me up now? Why have you been winding me up? Let's all blame Liam for this. That I've just ranted for 30 minutes about penalties and the debate around it. Let's just flip the channel over to Gillette Soccer Saturday. Who's on at 3 o'clock, guys? I should have that up here, shouldn't I? There we go. No, that's yesterday's. That's the one I want. Crystal Palace and West Brom. Right, we're going to go through our team news in a sec. I need to calm the hell down. That was a rant for the ages about penalties. Anyway, there's our games this afternoon. We'll do team news. It was Leeds 0, Chelsea 0 in the Prem. Palace and West Brom at 3. Luton 0. Certainly wasn't Luton 0, Swansea 0. You can tell I wrote that this morning. It was Luton 0, Swansea 1 in the Championship in the early kickoff there. Sorry if that's annoying. Let me move my phone out of shot. It is. Oh, I want a comma there. That's just going to bug me if that's a full stop and not a comma, because the rest are commas, aren't they? There we go. Right. Sorry. Birmingham, Bristol City, Bournemouth, Barnsley. It's going to be a hard one to say, isn't it? Cardiff, Watford, Derby, Millwall, Borough, Stoke, Forest, Reading, Rangers, Huddersfield, Rotherham, Cov is postponed, Wycombe, Preston, and Ipswich versus Plymouth in League One. And if I press a button here, I should be able to, because I am an Ipswich Town season ticket holder, my iFollow link should open and we can watch some Ipswich on here. Caden Jackson starts.
In yesterday's
oh dear, I better turn the sound off there or I'll get good old Graham Mack there, good friend on Radio Suffolk. Right. Shall we do the team news, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. Sorry, plenty of comments coming in. Again, Nick, sorry. Didn't realise it's been simmering. It has been simmering. Yeah, it was just that was just a little push I needed in the right direction, Nick. Right, let's move on. We'll do some team news, shall we? So Norwich are not playing today, our top team. They're playing tomorrow against Wednesday. Swansea have already played. Brentford have already played. So let's go to Cardiff City versus Watford. Have Watford got any central midfielders back? Yes, they have. 2. There's your Cardiff team. Phillips in goal. Morrison, Flint, Nelson. NG is back. Brown is going to have to play left wing back. Bennett's out long term for Cardiff. Rolls and Volps, Wilson, Murphy and Moore. So Mix keeping that very steady. Ricky, thank you. Close your eyes, Ben. Count down from 10. Put that rant out of your mind. 2 minutes into the 17 penalties. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Ricky. Look, guys, you know if I'm ever having a rant, it's just because I want football to be good, because I love it. You know that, don't you? Hey, right. Watford, backman in goal. Thank you again, Ricky, for the super chat. Firmino, Messina, Sierralta and Ekong. Looks like Ekong. We sometimes get Cathcart there, don't we, in centre back. So a bit of a more solid looking central midfield, although Mickle still like the look of that from a Cardiff point of view. Chalobah returns, Hughes and Zinkernagel. Remember, they really had to twist and tinker with that, didn't they? Sarr, João Pedro, despite Andre Gray scoring in recent times, starts, and Sema up top. So Watford looking a little bit stronger than they did in the previous game, which they did, in fact, win, wasn't it, against Bristol City that we had as a watch-along. Right, let's talk Reading, who are at Forest. Let's have a look at the two teams in this one. Samba in goal for Forest. Bong and Christie fullbacks. McKenna comes in with Figueiredo. That is normally Joe Worrell in that position, is it not? Cafu and Garner are the double pivot. Amiobi, Lolly, Kravinovic and Murray. We've seen Freeman in there. So Amiobi playing front left. Still, Lyle Taylor and Lewis Graben not ahead of Glenn Murray. I think Graben might be injured, mightn't he? For Reading, Raphael in goal. Yidam and Richards are the fullbacks. Holmes and Moore. So Morrison still not around. Semedo, McIntyre and Laurent are the midfielders. We expect that'll be like a diamond midfield with Elise at 10 and then Zhao and Pushkas. Pushkas has made a difference there up top. I'll do one more and then read your comments on any of these team selections. Big game between Bournemouth and Barnsley today. Really looking forward to this one. We are, by the way, 13 minutes from kickoffs. So Bournemouth, Begovic in goal, Smith and Kelly fullbacks, Cook and Carter Vickers centre backs. I'm not going to question that formation. That's quite attacking from Bournemouth. That's interesting. I wonder if he's gone 4-4-2. Again, everyone's trying to find a way to counteract the Barnsley press, and he's going to play the channels because he's got two wingers on there. Interesting from Woodgate. I wonder if he gets this right. Pearson and Lerma, central mid. And then, Danjuma and Stanislas wide, Solanke and Long. And Long seems to be the way you have to play against Barnsley these days, doesn't it? Because their pressing's so frightening for teams. Interesting selection, that, because they've very much been a one up top all season, haven't they? With wide forwards, narrow supporting. Barnsley have Collins in goal, Sibic, Hellick, Anderson. So no Solbauer again. He's on the bench. Britton and Williams, no Styles. That weakens Barnsley. He's an excellent player. Styles, Palmer and Mowat, Woodrow, Freeser, and Chaplin. So no DK up top who has impressed. Thank you. Steve, another super chat. Long off terraced angst, methinks. Yeah, there you go. Right, any comments on this one? Big change back in 86. There you go. It's been changing ever since. Any comments? Worrell, rib injury. Thank you, Owen. Charlie, welcome along, sir. Charlie, great news yesterday about his cancer going away. Well done, Charlie. Brilliant fight by you, my friend. Palace have 3 strikers on the bench and 2 strikers up top. Keep an eye on that one. That's on Sky Sports, isn't it? Why does Carlton Morris never start? I don't know. Did he start against Brentford? I can't recall. Unchanged Reading team from last week. Still missing Ajario, Rin and Motor, both key players. Maite on the bench. Fingers crossed for them. Lewis Cook out for the rest of the season. Yes, really, really bad news for Bournemouth there with Lewis Cook. Hopefully this is not a pattern, but a few long-term injuries occurring now towards the end of this bind of a season for the poor old players. Right, let's move on to Borough. We'll do 3 more. Get your comments in on any team selections, and I'll do 3 games, and then I'll go to your comments. So I'm not going back and forward too much. Bettinelli in goal for Borough. They're at home to Stoke. McNair, Hall, and Fry. Spence and Boller. Jake Steele injured now, isn't he? Morsey and Howson. Cabano, Balassi, and Akpom. So Warnock switching it about a little bit. We've seen a Sombalonga and Mendes, Lang, Fletcher in recent weeks, haven't we? Stoke, Gunn in goal. Smith and Norrington Davis are the fullbacks. Chester and Suter. Mikel, Allen, Brown, Powell, and Clark with Fletcher up top. Any comments on those? Get them in. I'll just do a couple more. Millwall are playing Derby County. There are your teams. Roos in goal for Derby. And it looks a lot like the system that that they went with in that slightly agricultural Hunger Games type affair against Barnsley. So Roos in goal, Edmondson, Mengi and Clark. Good for Mengi because I think the Derby fans were a bit suspicious about his Cardiff performance, and he was obviously much better in the face of a lot of long balls and high winds at Barnsley the other night. Burn and Forsyth are the fullbacks and wingbacks. Shinnie and Knight, Yoshviak, Waghorn and Kazim Richards. For Millwall, Białkowski in goal, Hutchison, Pearce and Cooper. I think that is a return for Jake Cooper, isn't it? I know he's had a few games out, hasn't he? Or was he back last time? I don't recall. Anyway, his massive ever-present streak went under a few weeks ago, didn't it? It's like 160 games or something mental, wasn't it? Romeo and Wallace. No Scott Malone in this one. Is he on loan from Derby? Is that why? Is he blocked? Woods, Thompson and Evans, Wallace and Bennett up top. Let's react to any comments about that. Stephen says, Borough have got an 18-year-old on the bench. What's his name, Stephen? Tell me. Yeah, Dykesteel. Out until the end of the season. Not good news. Ishmael gone for headless chickens. First hour, keep it tight, then release DK and Morris. Sound strategy. Borough look the stronger, but can't defend tall strikers. So wouldn't doubt Stoke, yeah, especially Powell as well. Adrian says, anyone know why Gillingham kick off? I've genuinely heard, and I don't know if I'm being wound up here, it's to do with floodlight costs and not switching them on. Someone will surely debunk that, but that's what I've heard anyway. Right, let's do the rest of these championship team news. QPR play Huddersfield. What's the time? 6 minutes to go. Come on, we can get through this. I got to get through this. Daniel Bedingfield. Don't hear from him very often. Dieng in goal. Barbe, Dickey, Kakai. Interesting. He's not normally a centre-back, is he? Kane and Wallace. Johansson and Field. Willock, Chair. Austin. For Huddersfield, Schofield, Edmonds, Green, Keogh, Sarr, Rowe, Pippa, O'Brien, Hogg, Bakuna, Campbell and Mbenza. Keep your comments coming in on these team selection stuff. Bristol City versus Birmingham. I'm allowed to steal. John's already told me. More attacking players on the pitch for Blues. Whether that translates to a more attacking style of play remains to be seen. Blues there. Etheridge in goal. Pedersen at right back. Surely he'll play left back and Colin will play right back. They've got that wrong way round, haven't they? Dean and Roberts. Bella and Sanchez wide. Harper and Sunny at central. And then we think Halilovic will play 10 off of Hogan, brother. Bristol City, Bentley in goal. Sessignon and Hunt, fullbacks. Callas and Mariappa, patched up centre-backs. Masengo, Lansbury and Palmer. That could be a slightly lightweight central midfield, I must say there, but certainly some skill. Does seem to lack a holder, doesn't it? Wells, Jeju, and Semenyo. Obviously, I know Lansbury plays deep, but he's hardly, I don't know, Roy Keane. Unfair comparison. Who was? Preston. Get comments in on all of these team selections, by the way, guys. Wickham, Preston. I think this is our last one, isn't it? Wickham, Stockdale in goal, McCarthy, Jacobson, fullbacks, Tafazoli, Knight, centre-backs, Thompson, Gape, McClary, Mametti, Horgan, Ick, Pezu, up top. For Preston, Iverson, Vandenberg, Hughes, Huntington, Story, Brown, Whiteman, Maguire, Johnson, Sinclair, Evans up top. Here come the West Brom players at Palace. Let's read any comments we've got on that. But Jills are away today. Well, there you go. That debunks what I said then, Iain, doesn't it? Nice to have some options on the bench. Whilst O'Dowda's back. God, they've had some injuries, haven't they? Bristol City today. Can't send the my emails on on YouTube. You can find it on there. Leeds 2021. Floodlights cost 10. Someone put some money in the meter. There we go. The New Romantic. There's an old Blue Monday listener there, David, isn't it? That's a great shout there. Steve Evans, the New Romantic. You don't hear that enough. Cooper has played the last two. Okay, Wallace is back. Depping for Malone. That's a good old musical term. Sam Allardyce and Roy Hodgson there. Some experience there. Jeez. Should have played McNamara, Romeo and Mitchell for Woods. Reluctant to field youngsters. Right. The 18-year-old is Josh Coburn. Isn't that like a type of whiskey? Coburn? Am I right? Is it whiskey? Let's just have a quick look and see what Ipswich are doing team-wise as they go up against Ryan Lowe and Plymouth today. No Jeffcott, though. He's on the bench. There's the Ipswich team. Holly, Chambers and Kenlock, fullbacks. Wilson and Enciala, Downs and Dazelle, Judge, Parrott, Edwards and Caden Jackson, bombed out by Paul Lambert, gets a start. Here's your Plymouth team. Cooper, Anson, Opoku, Watts, Lewis and Edwards, McLeod and Grant. Grant we had at Ipswich. McLeod we saw in the Championship. Plenty. He was at Brentford, wasn't he? Kamara, Mayer and Ennis up top for Plymouth. Right. Let's play first goal, but we're going to have to play it really quickly. So you just need to tell me the stadium and then you need to claim your bragging rights if you are correct. Where will the first goal occur in the 3 o'clocks? Will it be at Palace, where they face West Brom? Will it be at Birmingham, where they face Bristol City? Will it be at Bournemouth against Barnsley? Will it be at Cardiff, where they play Watford? Will it be at Derby, where they play Millwall? Borough, where they play Stoke? Forest, where they play Reading? QPR, where they play Huddersfield? It won't be at Rotherham because that game is postponed. Will it be at Wickham, who are playing Preston? Or will it be at Ipswich, who are playing Plymouth? The games are ticking along the bottom. Have your little bet. You can have that for free. Where will the first goal occur as we tick around to 3 p.m. and the Saturday Super Stream really gets going? Where will the first goal be in the 3 p.m.s? Let's see what you guys are saying here. Birmingham, Borough, Bournemouth, Borough, Bournemouth, Derby, Bournemouth. Lots of calls on Bournemouth here. Borough, Derby, Bournemouth, Cardiff. Raining heavily at Bournemouth, but pitch seems to be a carpet. Cardiff, Borough. Make sure you claim if you get it right. I'll read all of these out. There we go. As we await for the first goal of the Super Streams, it is 3 p.m. Let me just give a quick shout out to our good friend David, who is fan sponsor of all our Saturday Super Streams and all our Tuesday and Wednesday Super Streams as well. If we're covering multiple games, fan of the channel, happy to support great content. Thank you to David. Quick plug as well before the goals hopefully start flying in. Quick plug to say you can support any point during the show via Super Chat. We already have King of the Bin. Who's King of the Bin? It was Liam, wasn't it? Got right in there nice and early. Patreon as well. Exclusive shows on Patreon. You can see the Thursday Q&A, quick predictions and classics reviewed. And of course, if you're in the stream now, come in or go in, hit the thumbs up button and hit subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. It looks like it's hammering down in Ipswich, who have won a free kick early on in that game as we await the first goal of the Saturday Super Stream in the 3 p.m s. Thanks, Leeds 2021. Looks like I've got it. If your surname begins with W. There are our games today. Already finished. Leeds 0, Chelsea 0. Palace are playing West Brom. Obviously, all of these are 0-0. We're awaiting our first goal. Alan Judge lining up a free kick. Absolutely horrible conditions at Ipswich. Here comes Judge. Oh, good strike. Tipped over the crossbar there. Judge hitting the target early on. Scored a brilliant free kick the other day, didn't he? Our remaining games: Birmingham versus Bristol City, Bournemouth versus Barnsley, Cardiff versus Watford, Derby versus Millwall, Borough versus Stoke, Forest versus Reading, Rangers versus Huddersfield, Rotherham, Coventry postponed, Wycombe versus Preston, and Ipswich. Looks like they've started quite well, actually, playing Plymouth. Let's have a look at some comments. Good day, Noel. Good to see you. Good to see you, as Gordon Ramsay always says whenever we watch Hell's Kitchen. Stoke have already hit the post. Goodness me. Borough. I hope this is not a sign of things to come. By the way, guys, if we can do a quick check, let me know which game you are watching and keep us updated. If you're on iFollow watching your team, let us know. We got a goal in the lower divisions. Oldham are 1-0 up against Cambridge, says Gillette. Davis, Kellier, Dunn is the goal scorer. As ever, we will focus on championship games, a dearly departed, of which there is one, and Ipswich. Here we always follow, and Ipswich have taken the lead, and I'm about to see the goal. A bit of a dodgy back pass. There goes Troy Parrott, and probably much to the surprise of Millwall fans, Troy Parrott takes it around the keeper and knocks it into the empty net right-footed. It did look like Ipswich had started well. It's a mistake by Plymouth, and I believe that's Troy Parrott's first goal of any note in competitive football. It's in the left-back area, and Parrott nips in there well. The keeper does well not to bring him down, actually, especially with double jeopardy and all of that risky stuff. But nice finish by Troy Parrott. And Ipswich lead a 1-0. Parrott up top with Caden Jackson. Today for Ipswich. Did anyone have Ipswich? There you go, Zach. Well done. Anyone else get it? That is his first senior goal. Yeah, much hyped. He's played international football or been in the squad, I'm pretty sure, for Republic of Ireland. And Ipswich have the lead. And do I want to do this to myself? Come on, let's do it. Why not? Because as things stand, ladies and gentlemen, Ipswich are in the playoff positions. They would go 6th as things stand. Troy Parrott with the opening goal today. Sky are showing a chance for Baggies, I think. Nodded down into the box. Not much in that at all. Annie says West Brom have been the better side so far. So, 1 goal for us so far, and it was at Portman Road for my lot, Ipswich. Let's see how the rest of that game transpires today. Let me know how your games have started if you're watching on iFollow or on Sky Sports or what have you. Yeah, it was Conor Gallagher not quite able to get onto the end of that knockdown in the game at Selhurst Park between Palace and West Brom. And it's Pompey versus Salford, actually, in the Papa John's Trophy final. Looks like Caden Jackson has come back into the team and is looking quite at it for Ipswich today, from what we can see. Collins has just kicked from hand on the edge of the box, caught the wind and come down 30 yards from his goal. Let's hope the wind doesn't wreak too much havoc today. Obviously, we're talking 3 p.m, Iain, but your game did start brilliantly. Yes, indeed. One goal so far in the 3 p.m s in the Saturday Super Streams. Ipswich look like they're playing well. Edwards crosses in. That one gets cleared out by Plymouth. Penalty claim in the Stoke game, says the Stoke Twitter. Fletcher dragged to the floor by Morsey. Well, there we go. That goes with everything I was saying in my rather long rant about penalties. We literally have club Twitters tweeting out, and I'm not picking on, who was it? Stoke. We have club officials paid for by saying, putting into social media that someone is dragged down in the box and nothing is given. And when we watch that back, will they have actually been dragged down? Who knows? MK, oh, nice one. Liam will be pleased with that. There we go. MK1, Stanley 0. Jerome finishes superbly. Hopefully, we get to see that goal. Well, there you go, David. And let me read you the tweet. I'll read you the tweet. This is the situation we have going on with penalties at the moment. And this is, and again, I'm not picking on Stoke in the slightest, who are, of course, a great club. We know that. But penalty claim as Fletcher is dragged to the floor by Morsey from a corner. So that is on the official Stoke Twitter. That's what happens with our penalty debate, where now any contact in the box equals, quote, dragged to the floor. And again, there are plenty worse. I don't know, does anyone follow the Charlton Twitter? Because they are very partisan, put it that way. I don't think we saw the MK Dons goal. Chevon Robbins TV. Yeah, keep us updated, Chevon, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly there. Jonathan, Lions TV gave your channel a nice shout out. Oh, great stuff. Yeah. Welcome, Jonathan, if you come from Lions TV. Millwall playing Derby today. We'll keep, if anyone's keeping tabs on that, we normally have a couple of people watching Millwall. Nat, who knows, being a Wednesday fan, knows all about Stephen Fletcher. Drag to the floor. Do me a favour, he says. Morecambe 0, Newport 1. We're seeing some action from the Birmingham game where it looks like Jeremy Bella is in behind and really, I'm not sure he was crossing it. He kind of shanks it across the goal. I'm guessing, a bit of a blurry picture, that was Scott Hogan coming in. Hits the post. Blues close to an opening goal there. So just the one goal in our Super Stream so far for Troy Parrott. I should have written that down, shouldn't I? Parrott giving Ipswich the lead. They've gone to Chris Kamara, so maybe I'll see this, quote, dragged down in the penalty box. Burton winning again, Anir. They're ridiculous at the moment, aren't they? I haven't seen anything come up. That was Blue's shot for the day. I hope not, Noel, because it doesn't count as one on target if it hits the post. Go on, Huddersfield. Says number 1 Henners. We've got Huddersfield at QPR today. And Burton are winning yet again under Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, the footballer with the hardest side foot shot I have ever seen in my life. I've seen some players with a hard shot, but normally when they stick the laces through it. But Hasselbank could kick it harder with his side foot than most other pros by sticking their foot through it. Incredible technique. Mind to the rugby at all, says Swanscast. Not that I'm not into it, I just don't understand it, Swanscast. I barely understand football, so I don't think my mental capacity could take a different sport. Oldham 2, Cambridge 0. Davis Kelly Dunn has scored his second for Oldham. Ipswich looked well on top. Famous last words, no doubt, in the game at Portman Road. Edwards crosses in right-footed, gathered by the Plymouth keeper. Matthew says Borough have barely had the ball yet in that one against Stoke. Does sound like Stoke have started quite well in that one. Oldham manager bounce. Who's the new Oldham manager? Wasn't Paul Scholes the Oldham manager for about 10 minutes? Hasselbank, great shot back in the day. A few thunder blasters. He's a great player, wasn't he? Hasselbank. There is the second Oldham goal on the Gillette show on Sky. First 10 minutes. Oh, Keith Curl, there we go. I was just going to read that. First 10 minutes, full of excitement. 0-0 in all our games so far. Don't know what happened in the Ipswich game there. They seem to have possession and then conceded a corner straight from it. Oh, Caden Jackson went through. Now, big goal at the top of the championship. It is Cardiff 1, Watford 0. That's a very big goal in the promotion chase. Remember, we've got a shootout now between Brentford, Swansea and Watford for second place. Brentford and Swansea have both won, and Watford are losing at Cardiff. Cardiff obviously are chasing away for that playoff position, and they've gone 1-0 up 14 minutes in today. Own goal, says the Cardiff Twitter. So we'll see, no doubt, pictures of it. Ciaralta, the big, I think he's Chilean centre-back. Ciaralta with an own goal, and we can have a look and see what that does. Well, no one's going to move, but we can see what it does to the updated table in the Championship, because it's bad news for Watford. Away record had been improving. Here come Cardiff down the left. I think it's Murphy. Crosses it in low. Kiefer Moore pulls off towards the far post. Ciaralta slides in to try and defend that, and he's put it in to the back of his own net. Cardiff 1, Watford 0. A big goal to start us off in the Championship. Let's look at the live league table. And would you believe Watford have just equalised 1 minute later? I'm not going to go to the live league table at all, because we've got a Watford equaliser. The ball's on the edge of the box. Oh, what a goal as well. That's a brilliant goal. I think it's Chalobah with absolutely superb quick feet on the edge of the box and then drives it into the corner. And I was just very excitedly going to show you the live league table, but an immediate equaliser, a lovely goal as well by Nat Chalobah. Quick feet, and wow, Bournemouth 0, Barnsley 1. We're getting our surge of goals. 3 in 3 minutes here, and Barnsley are doing Barnsley type things again here. Barnsley are 1-0 up at playoff challengers Bournemouth. Goodness me. It is all going on. Business is about to pick up. Well, it is picking up. Barnsley have the lead. Set play, near post, flicked onto the far post and stuck into the back of the net. Michael Hellick, who was nominated for Player of the Month, wasn't he? He scored a few goals this past month, the Barnsley centre-back. And the winning streak is over, but the absolute menace that is Barnsley in the playoff race Still continues. Caden Jackson looks like he's causing havoc in the Ipswich game. He's got the ball in the box again, but that's cleared by Plymouth. Now, we got 2 goals to talk about, or 3 indeed, in 2 separate matches. There is the top of the championship table. So, Watford were behind for 1 minute, weren't they? But then they got straight back and equalised. So they are on 67 points, which puts them into 3rd. But still, with Swansea's win, that is going to spread out a little bit. Remember, Watford at the end at 5 o'clock will have played a game more than the 2 teams chasing. But then look at Barnsley. If that stays the same, a 5-point gap goes on. And I suppose if you're a Barnsley fan, you'd probably quite like a Watford win, wouldn't you? Just to keep Cardiff further back. Although if you're a Barnsley fan, you're probably very optimistically looking up rather than down. Anyway, 7 wins, a draw, and they are leading again and could be a very, very key performance. Woof. Jim, your legend. A £3 super chat from Jim. Back to bloom. At least Wednesday won't lose today. Join us tomorrow for Norwich visit to Sheffield Wednesday. With all those quick goals, that it escalated quickly. Well, it did. It did, didn't it? And it always does in the Super Stream. We always get 5 in 5 minutes or 3 in 3 minutes at some point. Barnsley flick on from a corner, header at the back post, 0-1, even, and nothing much happened before that. Well done, Barnsley. What composure, says David. Was that goal as good as it looked? In the one quick replay that I saw, it looked like lovely feet by Chalobah to engineer the space and smash that in to the corner. Can you imagine the headlines if Barnsley go up? Well, sensational, wouldn't it? Being a Norwich fan is great. Get to watch the great battles for playoff relegation. Don't need to worry. Well, if things stay the same, you're totally right. I'll take the credit for the goals after my comments. There you go. You take the credit. Stick my bets on 0-0 tomorrow. A penalty to be awarded. There you go. But join us tomorrow, indeed, for Wednesday and Norwich. Looking forward to that one. Hope that Barnsley go up. Would be fantastic for them. Be a hell of a rise, wouldn't it? Bromley won. Barnet won as well. Livingston. J. Emmanuel Thomas. You can still find him scoring for Livingston. God, I remember J. Emmanuel Thomas. One game he played for Ipswich. Who was it against? It was against West Ham, where we genuinely thought we had an absolute star. But hey, his career flattered to deceived. Serious question. Barnsley to win the playoffs? Well, we will see. They certainly look like they're going to be in the playoff positions, don't they? It's going to take a 2-goal swing in that game for them to lose now, isn't it? And even if they do lose, they'll have 58 and Bournemouth will have 59. So it'd still only be on the edges of them. But at the moment, in a big 6-pointer, Barnsley are generating a 5-point playoff gap there. And especially with Cardiff not winning, that obviously needs to be the case for that 5-point gap. What else have we got here? Jet was absolutely useless. How many clubs has he had now? J. Emmanuel Thomas, I could probably name not many of them. David, we shop in different places, my friend. No, it's not a Versace shirt, but thank you. I don't know where I got it from. Normally, I just find the loudest shirt that no one's buying and just buy it. But no, there's another one I've got that people think is what's the one with black and gold? It's not Versace. It's oh crikey, I can't think what the Dolce and Gabbana, and it's not at all. I'm happy to spend lots of money on expensive food, but not expensive clothes. With their running, are Reading the team to catch in the playoffs now? That's a good point, James. we'll see some difficult games for Reading, but they seem to have been able to absorb difficult situations of late, haven't they? I actually think we'll beat Norwich tomorrow. Goodness me. Well, this goal sounds like it was against the run of play. In fact, we got 2 goals back to back. Borough have taken the lead and Bournemouth have equalised. 2 quick goals there. I think both in minute 22 there. We got a goal for an equaliser. Sorry, I turned my head that way towards the mic. We got an equaliser for Bournemouth. And Borough have taken the lead. A bad minute for Barnsley. Their Hall has scored for Borough. So I'm going to assume that was a header from a set play. I do not know who scored for Bournemouth. We'll find out very, very shortly. And hopefully we are about to see the goals. Yeah, here's Clinton Morrison. So we're going to see a goal for Bournemouth, an equalising goal here. Stanislas into the box, along the floor. Danjuma, touch and finish with the left foot. He's having a good season. Arne Danjuma, the Dutch winger for Bournemouth, gets the equaliser. And we'll hopefully see Grant Hall's goal for Borough any second. Hopefully the ticker at the bottom there is updated properly now. Oh no, I haven't put the Watford equaliser on, have I? We're going to see, because Chris Kamara has appeared on my screen, we're going to see the Borough goal from Grant Hall. Any second now. It is a set play. In it comes. I think Cabano puts it in. Flicked on at the near post, and Warnock will love that one. Hall, it wasn't a header. I said it'd be a header from a set play. That's kind of half right. Was a set play, but he pops it in with his right foot. And I think now would be a good time to go back to the live league table. All change. So level in Barnsley versus Bournemouth means that that's a 2-point gap, not a 5-point gap. So that goal facilitates a 3-point swing, just like that. And I suppose if you're a Borough fan, that's exactly what you want. If you're a Cardiff fan as well, you want Barnsley and Bournemouth to draw. You don't want either of those 2 teams to win, so you can close up there. Chris Stokes has scored for Forest Green. In the lower divisions, Innes Murray for Alloa in Scotland, although we're not particularly concerned with those games. Burton have gone 2-0 up. I'm going to repeat Annie's comment earlier about how ridiculously good Burton are under Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Hemmings has got both of the goals, and they're just in incredible form, aren't they? Crew 0, Burton 2. Oh, Hull, I think, have taken the lead, against Oxford. In fact, let's go to the League One table. I was just going to put this up just quickly so you can see. So Burton there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins in the last 7. Do you know what? I think if I scroll back a page, I think it's even better than that. There you go. 7 wins in the last 8 games for Burton Albion. We're going to see the Hull goal as well. Let me just put the League One table up. It's Keane Lewis Potter. Hull drive through into the box. That's a good goal, that. He puts it through the defender's legs. Good disguise on that. And Hull, as things stand, look at that. Hull are going to go 6 points clear as things stand at the top of League One, looking for a bounce back, immediate return into the Championship. Hull leading against Oxford there. And I won't get too excited, but look at position number 6 as it stands. Woo! Right, let's go to your comments. Robert, you legend. Thank you. £5 super chat, very kind. Not losing today. Does that mean Wigan aren't playing today, Katie? Or, yeah, they're not playing. That's tremendous. As a Borough fan, all I want is a Watford goal and all the results to stay the same. Well, remember, There is many a slip betwixt cup and lip. A lot is going to happen. Right, what else have we got? So I'm just scrolling up. Ewan. Yeah. This is going to be one of those days. No goals for a while, then all the goals in a couple of minutes. Hopefully, I will be keeping up. So far, we have had Troy Parrott scoring for Ipswich, an own goal by Francisco Sierralta, and then a quick reply by Nat Chalobah, and then a goal by Hellick for Barnsley, and a quick reply, not quite as quick as Chalobah's was, by Dan Juma for Bournemouth, as Plymouth on the attack here. Chambers heads clear. Edge of the box here. Plymouth reload. Low shot. Dragged wide. Grant Hall has scored for Borough as well. That is our remaining goal. Paul Merson has just shown his notes for Palace West Brom. Nothing has happened, he says. Cardiff Watford. I've never been to Tom. We've got a few Swans fans in this dilemma. You want what's best for your club, hey? So you want a Cardiff win, I have to say. Ooh, volley onto the bar from Bournemouth. It looked like Stanislas. Sorry, it wasn't Dom Solanke. Stanislas on the far post. Snooze fest at Palace. Hang in there, James. You keep watching that for us. Hang in there, buddy. Do you think Ipswich Town will make the playoffs this season? I don't know, DJ Samuel. But they're in there at the moment. They are in there at the moment. And it looks like they're playing quite well. Today, Wycombe 1, Preston 0. We have another goal in the Championship. Wycombe have scored. It's Wycombe 1, Preston 0. I'll update on the ticker, and we will no doubt get the goal scorer. Wycombe don't score many. They have actually made their goals translate into points on a fair few occasions this season, but as you can imagine, they don't have many goals and they don't have many points. Ryan Tafazoli is the scorer. So I'll make my normal prediction when a centre-half scores and suggest that that may have been a header from a restart, a set play. We'll find out in just a second what's going on there. Tafazoli puts Wycombe, not Wigan. Katie, you got Wigan in my head now. Wycombe. Chance headed at goal from the corner. Easy for Thomas Holly. And look, I'm going to be right again. Corner drifted in. Tafazoli headed. Ikpezu's clever there. He stood right in front of the goalkeeper. He's onside. And just jumps out of the way. And the ball flies into the corner from Tafazoli, the former Hull City centre-half. Is the goal scorer. Wycombe lead. It won't do much in terms of the bottom of the table, but it would be remiss of me not to show you what that does at the bottom of the table. Let me remove the banner and you will see Wycombe, well, in fact, it closes them up to 2 points to Sheffield Wednesday if all stays the same. And a very tricky game for Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow. They're playing Norwich. Forest going close there. Joe Lolly, but it was on the right foot, not the left foot. He just sticks it wide of the post. Let's go to some of your comments. What are we saying? Wycombe don't want to finish last. No, they do not. We will see. Go Wycombe. Sounds like my house is falling down here in Bedfordshire. Good thing Luton played earlier, isn't it? Corner right on top of the keeper. That's probably the most that's happened in the Palace and West Brom game there on Sky Sports. Collins, great tip onto the bar. Oh, he saved it, did he? Was that the volley, Chris? We did see that. Looked like Ikpezu was offside. I thought Locke, yes, and I didn't see who it was. It might have been Vandenberg because he looked like he had red hair. I thought he was playing him on the near post, but I've only seen it once. I'll stop that. Can you imagine an Ipswich-Sunderland playoff final? the two most rubbish playoff teams, well, other than Derby and Preston, the two most rubbish playoff teams you can get meeting in the playoff final. Deary me. Yes, I do not like the playoffs, not one little bit. Should be on 40 points in terms of performance, which is great to know. Yes, second EFL test apparently done for New Wigan ownerships. Yeah, let me know if you have another view at that one. It's snowing in Northampton. No. Let me just open my blind a second. Blue skies out there. Just ridiculous amounts of wind at the moment here in Bedfordshire. There are our goals so far. We're seeing something at Cardiff here. Ken Semmer down the left. Ooh, João Pedro's about 8 yards out. Tries to shoot with the outside of his right foot. Puts it over the top. Yes, Brentford can join in the worst playoff team debate. I know most playoff appearances now. I think Derby tied with Ipswich, didn't they? With 8 in terms of championship, of course. Oh, God. And then the rain pours down. Again, not stopped raining for about 3 days in Sheffield. That's a Yorkshire weather for you, George, isn't it? Here comes Edwards for Ipswich. Nice cross in. Judge controls on the near post. Back to Edwards. He crosses left-footed. That's easy for the keeper. Lerma's shot deflected out for a corner. Yes, oh God, Lewis is totally right. Reading in the playoffs. We'll compile a list. We'll make a list. Lots of teams have not had a very good time in the playoffs. I think when we did it, I think Hull and Burnley were the kings. I think Burnley as well have won without even conceding the goal. I think they might have only been in once, though. I'll do another video when we get up to the playoffs. I've got all the research done. Playoffs are great when you win them, but as a Huddersfield fan, I can only dream of playoff days. Absolutely. Looks like Ipswich are playing really well. I hate to say, because then you know the equaliser's coming, don't you? Parrott was just closed down for another effort. Reading are worse. Reading always lose in the final as well. They don't even lose in the semi-finals, do they? Oh, we got a penalty at Palace. I might switch channels there. Now that does look like a handball, doesn't it? Right, let's do this correctly and quickly. TV guide, favourites, Palace, West Brom. Oh, they're checking the offside before a penalty. Oh, God. A Palace going to be like 1 millimetre offside. And the penalty's not going to be given. We're going to find out. All going on at Selhurst Park. No, onside. Okay. So that means we're going to get a penalty. Who was that handballed that? Was that Furlong? It looks like referee Hooper. Have I got the right guy? And we're going to... Oh, he's going over to check the screen. There we go. We all love this. 75% success rate at Wembley for Iain's Rotherham there. Yeah, Charlton Sunderland. What a humdinger that was. Birmingham 0. Bristol City 1. Very bad news for Birmingham. Blues take the lead. I don't know whether to flip the channel or whether they're going to get there nice and quickly. We've got a penalty anyway. I'll stay with Palace and we'll check this one. If anyone sees the Bristol City goal before me and can describe it to me, so yellow card for Furlong, and we've got a penalty for Palace that I assume it's going to be Milivojevic is going to take. And Casey Palmer is the goal scorer for Bristol City. I'll flip back and hopefully catch it in time. Here comes Milivojevic. Right-footed scores. Nice penalty technique there. Milivojevic with the goal. Let's try and flip back. He literally kisses the camera. I hope it's been sanitised. Let's hope I get back in time to see Casey Palmer's goal. They've popped it up on the screen. Milivojevic is the score. We'll update all the tickers and everything imminently. Bad news for West Brom. Good news for Fulham, Newcastle and Brighton, though. If anyone's watching the Gillette show, have they shown the Bristol City goal yet? If they have, I missed it. Boo-hoo. So Birmingham 0, Bristol City 1, Palmer, and no, I haven't missed it. Tremendous. Palace 1, West Brom 0. Plenty of goals. Palmer driving towards the edge of the area. It's a good goal, that. Gets it on the right foot and just steers it into the corner. Bristol City lead. That's bad news for Birmingham now, with those games in hand totting up. I know Rotherham are operating at 1 point per game, but they're going to have 4 games in hand when this is done today. And they're going to be 3 points behind Birmingham as things stand. So it would only need a point per game from each of those games. Oh, Lincoln are losing in League One. Could be a very good day for Hull in League One. Rochdale have scored against Lincoln. We'll go to look at the League One table in just a sec. So that's the Championship table. Look down at the bottom. Birmingham are losing, and Rotherham are going to have 4 games in hand after today. Yes, we understand Rotherham's schedule is going to be somewhat ludicrous between the last international break and the end of the season. However, Birmingham, look at that. It's going to be a 17th defeat if things stay the same. I just wanted to look and see what that Lincoln goal, Rochdale goal at Lincoln has done to the League One table. And yeah, things looking very lovely for Hull, aren't they? So Lincoln are going to stick on 61 points as things stand. Hull are leading and they're going to go 6 points clear at the top with 10 games to go. Looking good for the Tigers of Hull. And I'm going to read some of your comments in just a second. Let's do that right now. Hopefully we're all caught up. Recent goals there for Casey Palmer and for Milivojevic and Tafazoli in 3 of our games. Tafazoli for Wickham, Palmer for Bristol City, Milivojevic for Crystal Palace. Let's have a look at some comments. Palmer playing well since going back to Bristol City. Yeah, they needed a creative spark, to be fair. Lolly injured. Not good. Not good news. What's going on in the Cardiff Watford game there? Backman way out of his goal and went through the back of Kiefer Moore. Plenty of players back, so no denial of obvious goal scoring opportunity. And it didn't look like a serious foul play red card, but interesting situation to see the keeper out of his box. Burton 3-0 up. Wow. Burton are the new Real Madrid. I thought people putting Palmer scored meant Barnsley had scored. No, Casey Palmer, not Ramal Palmer. Yes, and Lee pointed out to me as well, Birmingham have a tricky run-in. It's not even the run-in as such, Lee, is it? It's the next 4 games. Birmingham play 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th in the table, don't they? Birmingham up against, in no particular order, Brentford, Watford, Swansea and Reading. And Borough have gone 2-0 up. Borough 2-0 up on 40 minutes against Stoke. Stoke are properly going to be on the beach with about 9 games to go. Don't give Karanka what's that say? Any excuse to moan. He's already used every excuse under the sun. There we go. Excuses don't get you points, do they, Noel? Sadly. I think Karanka knows that, doesn't he? Can we play away every week? Yeah, Bristol City strangely better away from home than they are at home. There's Shaylee in the chat. Everybody. Hello, darling. She normally goes for a dog walk at this point. Maybe with mother round the corner. But that's okay, because we do have a support bubble before anyone yells at me in the chat. Paddy McNair, thank you, David. And Chris Kamara is now going to tell us all about that goal. McNair on 40 minutes puts Borough 2-0 up. Howson on the break. A nice ball down the left-hand side. McNair onto his right. It's a great goal, actually. Isn't McNair playing centre-back as well? What's he doing up there? Total football from Neil Warnock. You love to see it. 2-0. Borough on 40 minutes. Let me update the ticker. All is going well for Middlesbrough. They lead 2-0. As things stand, Palace 1, West Brom 0. Luton lost 1-0 to Swansea earlier. Birmingham 0, Bristol City 1. Bournemouth 1, Barnsley 1. Cardiff 1, Watford 1. Derby 0, Millwall 0. Borough 2, Stoke 0. Forest 0, Reading 0. Rangers 0, Huddersfield 0. Rotherham Cov postponed. Wickham 1. Preston 0. Ipswich 1. Plymouth 0. Although we're seeing action here. Have Plymouth equalised? Ooh, no, but they've had a big chance there. Oh, he's offside. A let-off there. And Salford have missed a big chance in the Papa John's Trophy final against Pompey at Wembley. Pompey probably need that game like a hole in the head at the moment. They've been struggling in League One and could do with sticking some points on the board. But hey, a trophy is a trophy. Let's have a look at your comments. Coming up half time. Pizza or Chinese? Pizza, a big one with lots of a Costco pizza. Shaylee, when we get promoted, will you make a song about us? If it's from the Championship into the Premier League, yes, of course. Oh, a penalty shout in the Palace West Brom game. Oh, it's an offside. Referee Hooper is doing this. That means offside, I guess. Ben raised an interesting point about on the beach teams. Wednesday have a tough run in, but the likes of Forest and Derby should be safe by final games. Always look out for, Jim's totally right, look out for the teams playing teams in the middle at the end of the season. Those are harder games. Those are easier games than teams lower down who are scrapping and fighting. The mentality just changes, doesn't it? We're coming up half time in the Super Stream today. Burton 3-0 up. Hemmings has got a hat trick. That's sensational. Interesting stories developing as always. But everything finally poised, especially in the playoff race, because Bournemouth and Barnsley are level and so are Cardiff and Watford. So we could get a big swing depending on, you know, a Cardiff goal would put the cat amongst the pigeons for the playoff chase. A Watford goal for the automatic chase. And, of course, down the bottom, Birmingham are losing at home. Birmingham, with that horrifically poor home record this season, are a goal down to Bristol City, who seem to have the knack of winning away under Nigel Pearson, or certainly since Dean Holden has left. Ipswich are winning and going into the playoffs, leaving my bias at the door. They're into stoppage time in their game against Plymouth. And in the Premier League, Palace 1, West Brom 0. Bournemouth have tweeted they've been forced into a change. Jack Stacey is coming on, I guess. I think Smith had started right back in that game. And there is the cat amongst the pigeons. Bournemouth 2, Barnsley 1. Bournemouth were behind. They've taken the lead. So just before half-time, all change in the playoff positions. I'm pretty sure that'll put Bournemouth into 6th. And Derby 0, Millwall 1. Derby are in a horrible run of form in terms of wins at the moment. They're not getting any. We'll have a look and check on the scorers. Let me bring the live table up because I think that puts Bournemouth back into the playoff spots. And I am correct. Hutchison has scored for Millwall. I don't know who scored the Bournemouth goal. But look up there in 6th place. Bournemouth going to be moving back into the playoff spots. And Barnsley, it's going to be like a first defeat in, well, they've won 7 and drawn 1 on the bounce, haven't they? And look down the bottom there. Derby, 36 played, 39 points, and they're behind. Not all over there. Dom Solanke is the goal scorer for Bournemouth. Sean Hutchison for Millwall. Hopefully we will get to see both of those goals imminently, but cat amongst the pigeons, very much so before half-time there. They've gone to Clinton Morrison, so I'm about to see the Bournemouth goal played into the left channel as everybody plays on the break against Barnsley. They've caught them out. Danjuma crosses it in low. It's a great cross, actually. And Solanke is just able to sweep that one home. And Bournemouth lead, and Bournemouth go back into 6th place as things stand. Plenty of time to go. Goal Millwall, Hutch, header from a corner. Hopefully we'll get to see it imminently. Here it comes. Sean Hutchison. I tweeted during the week, one of very few outfield players to have played every minute this season. Just powers their header in, corner in from the left-hand side, in swinger, curling in, and Hutchison powers that one home, much to the delight of his teammates. Let's have another look at the league table because I didn't see what that did in terms of Millwall and where they are headed. On to 49 points, but with Borough winning, a little bit of a gap in front of them. We are getting half times everywhere. Let me know when your game goes half time. Bristol City going to half time 1-0 up. Thanks, Anir. Thank you, everybody, for heads up with the goals. Solanke puts Bournemouth 2-1 up, crossed by Danjuma. Nice one, Chris. Wednesday did the double over Bournemouth, so it's definitely possible they'll stuff Norwich. Well, we shall see tomorrow. Wednesday, 6 straight losses. Norwich 7 in a row. Anyone who knows the Championship knows that Wednesday will win tomorrow. I'm not so sure, but we have had odd results like that before. Lots of half times coming in. We used to beat Norwich last game. I remember a 5-1 at the end of the 2017-18 season. Wednesday and Norwich. Although Norwich, hot favourites to win that one tomorrow. Okay, let's bang through all our half-time scores. Are we at half-time in most of our games now? I think we are. Let me go split screen on this one. So, in the Premier League, it is Palace 1, West Brom 0, a handball by Darnell Furlong, and Milivojevic pops the penalty home. Earlier, it was Leeds 0, Chelsea 0 in another dearly departed game. And you can see later on tonight, good luck Fulham, because they've got to play Man City in another dearly departed game. Everton and Burnley at 5:30. In the Championship, so the 12-15 game, and remember, Brentford did this last night, churned out a 1-0 away win with a relatively early goal. Well, Swansea got an even earlier goal and churned out a 1-0 away win, as teams tend to do so at the top of the table at this point of the season. Luton 0, Swansea 1, Hurahan with the goal. At Birmingham, the terrible home record is continuing for Blues, and Bristol City's recent ability to win away games is continuing because they're 1-0 up at Birmingham. Casey Palmer, edge of the box, driving forward, curves it in with the right foot. Nice finish by Palmer. It's Bournemouth 2, Barnsley 1. Barnsley led from a set play. Michael Hellick headed in at the back post. But 2 Bournemouth goals have not only swung the game, but as things stand, have swung the playoff positions. They're going to swap places in 6th and 7th. Bournemouth going into the playoff positions. Dan Juma with the first goal. And look, I haven't watched this game, but it did look like, and teams are trying to do this to Barnsley now with the press, a quick turnover, fullbacks, wing-backs up the pitch. Dan Juma in the channel, crosses for Solanke, 2-1 just before half time. Cardiff 1. Watford 1. 2 really quick goals in that one. Own goal by Sierralta. Murphy crossed it in from the left. Sierralta has got Kiefer Moore sniffing behind him. So he slides in and he puts it into his own net. But Watford equalised pretty much 1 minute after that goal went in. Good goal, actually. Chalobah, good feet, engineers the space, curls it into the corner, I think, with the left foot, but I could be wrong about that. Great goal nonetheless. Derby 0, Millwall 1, just before half-time. And Derby, well, they're still ahead of points parity. They're going to be 39 for 36 games, even if they lose. But trending downwards, Derby, I have to say at the moment. And it was Sean Hutchison with the header for Millwall. Middlesbrough 2, Stoke 0. From what I heard in the chat, Stoke started that game fairly well. But Borough, 2 goals. Hall from a set play, just popping it in on the back post. And a really good goal, actually, a counter-attack. And Paddy McNair, who's a centre-back, up there in the penalty box, finishes it, cuts in from the left, curls it in with the right foot. It's Forest 0, Reading 0, QPR 0, Huddersfield 0. Rotherham and Cov is postponed. Remember, Rotherham are 3 points behind Birmingham in the last relegation spot. They're going to have 4 games in hand at the end of today's proceedings, with Birmingham going on a very tricky run. So there is potential, if Rotherham can actually perform, there is potential in a situation to catch Birmingham at this stage. Wycombe 1, Preston 0. Wycombe are going to close to within 2 points of Sheffield Wednesday if all stays the same. Obviously, Wednesday are playing tomorrow, but they're playing Norwich, who are miles clear at the top of the table. Wycombe's goal scored by Tafazoli. And in League One, my lot Ipswich are 1-0 up against Plymouth. Troy Parrott scores his first senior goal, I think, after only 3 or 4 minutes in that one. And Ipswich are leading. Right. I'm going to return in 2 minutes, guys. Please don't go anywhere. I'm going to take my 2-minute comfort break, as we do in the Super Stream at halftime, and I will be back straight afterwards. If you want, get questions and comments in, and we will return for the second halves very soon. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Saturday Super Stream. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door. It is half time. Plenty of developing stories in the Championship and across our games, also covering dearly departed teams in the Premier League and obviously Ipswich in League One. Let's just do a quick reset and a quick shout out. Thank you to David, fan of the channel, happy to support great content. David is the fan sponsor for our Super Streams this season. Thank you so much to David. Huge help to the channel. He got involved over on Patreon. You can do the same, where you get some exclusive shows as well. The Thursday Q&A, my quick predictions, classics reviewed with more shows on the way. And you can support during the show at any point via Super Chat. First Super Chat in the stream becomes King of the Bin. And that is Liam today, way back when. We've already been going 2 3/4 hours. So there you go. And you will see down there our scores as things stand. Palace 1, Baggies 0. Birmingham 0, Bristol City 1, Bournemouth 1, Barnsley 1. No, it's not. Let me update that one down there. It's Bournemouth 2, Barnsley 1. They scored just before half time, didn't they? And I need to update the Millwall goal as well, don't I? There we go. Right, let's whack through these again. My apologies. Bournemouth 2, Barnsley 1, Cardiff 1, Watford 1, Derby 0, Millwall 1, Borough 2, Stoke 0, Forest 0, Reading 0, Rangers 0, Huddersfield 0, Rotherham and Cov postponed, Wycombe 1, Preston 0, Ipswich 1, Plymouth 0. Let's go to your comments. I'm the dude, just throwing that grenade into the chat. In my humble opinion, I think diving is an art. Players should get awarded for it. Well, I thank you for the super chat, but I'm sure that opinion won't be popular in the chat. I'm the dude, but very, very kind. Thought you were talking about the Olympics. There you go. Do you know what? I was watching some old footage of like Euro 88 and Klinsmann and Voller for Germany. Oh, my God. They shamelessly would throw themselves down, wouldn't they? Goodness me. And here, Palace leading 1-0. Smash and grab. West Brom have only really had half chances. Well done, Troy. Didn't work out at Millwall, but he's got that monkey off his back. Yeah, good luck to him. There's a player in there. He just needs to get going. Doesn't he? Do you think we are safe? At Bristol City? Of course you are. Yeah. As Jeff says, safe on the beach. There you go. Parrot scores. Feigns a feint with shock. Stop it. Oh, Jim. Parrot always on the shoulder of the defender. Deary me. What else have we got? Got given a big beer fridge today. Nat, you've got to send me some pictures of this bar. And I'm going to take up my invitation when the world opens back up. Although I should, from all the promises I've made, have something to do every day for about the next 10 years when the world does open back up. To be fair, players who dive are the most intelligent nowadays, says Will. Watch the Pele documentary on Netflix. There's a Roberto Baggio one coming as well, isn't there? Which looks like it's going to be really fantastic. UTB up the Borough, 2005. Not used to Borough being clinical, especially when Stoke have played well, but I'll take it. Absolutely, and especially after the manner of the defeat at Swansea. I think Borough fans will pocket if it is a bit of a one going in their favour today. Things seemed to go against them last week. I think we'd all agree with that. Mark Boller disallowed goal. Ben, can you give me a neutral opinion of Villa without Grealish? I can't tell if we're off or just average because it's so good. Right, George, I do have a definitive opinion on this. Because we've discussed Buendia and Norwich so much, and I suppose there's the same thing levelled at Grealish and Villa, whereby the team has a star player and they suit their game to play through that player. And then that player performs exceptionally well and their results become disproportionately better with that player than without. All I'll say about that is it's okay to have a star player. That's absolutely fine. And of course, the results will tail off because the whole process is to go. I remember Matt Le Tissier saying once, they knew the rules, stay in chat. Jim Magilton's even said the same thing on the Blue Monday podcast. His basic role at Southampton, good player like Jim Magilton as well, get the ball, give it to Matt Le Tissier. So it kind of stands to reason to say that results will drop off. All this reminds me of is I do remember in one of my many rows I had with my bandmates back in the day in a band, I was gobbing off going, I do this, and this. Imagine I wasn't here. None of those things would happen. And the bass player, who was a smart guy, looked at me and he said, Ben, you do realise if you weren't here, someone else would do all of those things. And I think sometimes we assume that when, for example, Buendia doesn't play for Norwich or Grealish doesn't play for Villa or what have you, that they're not capable of doing those things. It's just that the plan is that guy does those things. And of course, if they weren't at the club, there'd be a different plan. So I think sometimes people get hung up on it a little bit, don't they? But it's very easy for us to sit here and do stats of Norwich without Buendia compared to with or Grealish, at Villa, the same thing. So those are my feelings on that, George. I think it's okay. I mean, can you imagine, Henry's numbers for Arsenal when he literally used to get 20 goals and assists in a season? And the strategy was that he would go out to the right wing or what have you, left wing, wasn't it? And they would counter-attack and get him the ball mighty quickly, wouldn't they? Think about doing the same thing for any team that has a star player, put it that way. Right. Let's go to the comment. Perfect example is Mattheson at Norwich. Exactly. You find exactly. I totally agree. You adapt when that one. And it's one of those ones, Alan and I'm the Dude, where it always annoys me when teams sell players that have scored goals and they say, oh, they've just lost 25 goals or whatever. And it's like, well, someone else is going to play in that position when they're gone. It's not fair to just take 25 goals off the total and say, it's when people come up with silly stats like that as well. Oh, their goals are worth X amount of points to the team. It's like, well, somebody else would be playing. It's not fair to just replace their input with nothing, isn't it? Wednesday have played better without Bannercraft. Yeah, and Jim, to that point, Gab Sutton, who you should follow on Twitter, who's a great EFL expert and journalist, he argues that Fulham were better without Mitrovic last season. And, sometimes it's weird that you have this really good player on your team and you play through them a little bit too much. There you go. Coutinho for Liverpool, indeed. Same thing. Right. Let me know when your games kick back off. Ipswich are just about to go on I follow here. Looks like Bournemouth and Barnsley are into 47th minute. Chance for Palace, actually. Benteke and tipped over. Good save that by Johnston. And we'll see how things transpire in the second half. This is the Saturday Super Stream. And we are into the second half. Hopefully, I'm going to scan read them now. I've got all of the results up to date and correct down the bottom there. And we'll see what transpires now in the second half. 45 minutes to play. Well, it's going to be more than 45. Remember, we got a big splurge of goals, didn't we? Around the 14, 15 minute mark in the second half. So let's see what happens in the first half. Keep your comments coming. You can replace those goals with 0 for Swansea. Most likely refuse to sign a number 9. Absolutely. There you go. Webster for us. Yeah, you can always make the argument. Webber says this argument all the time. He says there'll be another Buendia next in line. Yeah, the only thing with that is if he's asked to do the same thing, good luck getting a player that good. But hey, His track record has been pretty good. Pretty good, in the words of Larry David. Iain is predicting the first goal in the second half is going to come at Adams Park. Get your predictions in. 3 changes at the break for Barnsley. I might have a look at that, Chris. He loves a triple substitution, doesn't he? Or he loves a whole load of substitutions. Let's have a look and see what Valerian Ishmael has done. Kane, Styles, and Morris on for Chaplin, Williams, and Palmer. All straight swaps there. Left back, central midfield, or left wing back, central midfield, and up top. Remember who you're betting on, because I'll never remember when I'm reading them all. You can read all about it. In 2009, we sold Beattie in January. We were better without him. Yeah, sometimes balance trumps giving the best player the ball. And I remember, we have a goal. Minute number 49. Nottingham Forest 1, Reading 0. That is bad news for Reading. It could get worse if Cardiff take the lead as well. But Reading are behind. Forest have taken the lead. We will find out about that goal in just a second. Yeah, talking about balance, and I mean, the Norwich example is a really good one with Mattheson. I remember being at the 1-1 draw, the famous one where Closer scores at the end. Norwich had no game plan other than giving the ball to Mattheson all the time. They were a far better side without him than they were with him in the end. And that, that is judged by the points totals and finishing literally 12 places or 13 places higher or whatever it was. Right, here comes the Forest goal. It's played into the channel down the right-hand side. Amiobi does well, beats his man, low cross, and powered into the net. Although, Sky are saying Glenn Murray did not score that goal. It is a Holmes' own goal. Elementary, my dear Watson. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. But Forest have the lead against Reading. We'll have a look and see what that does to the playoff picture. With Bournemouth winning, Barnsley losing, and Reading losing. It's a good day for the chasing pack. 5th and 6th at the start of play are both losing. Obviously, we're way ahead of that on here because we go with the live league table. But Reading were 5th and Barnsley was 6th at the start of the day. So we have a look at the live league table and see what's going down. So, Reading 60, Bournemouth 59, Barnsley 58. And do you know what? If Cardiff score, it'll be 57, won't it, for Cardiff? So you could have a scenario there of 57, 58, 59, 60 from 8th place up into 5th place. Interesting. Very, very interesting, as Barry Davis would say. Look at his face. Now let's have a look at this. Not sure if your usual suspect. Thoughts on the collapse of Football Index? Oh dear. Yeah, talk to me about that. Football Index. Well, they've gone into administration. So it may be that it comes back. Whether it comes back at the same value with a lot of people pulling their money out. Remember, when any market collapses, there'll be a lot of people actually invest in it thinking, well, if it picks back up, I'm buying in at the best possible rate. But there is always the chance that it either goes to the wall, in which case everybody loses everything, or it comes back at a lesser rate. There you go. And we'll hear lots of stories about this. Adam, 900 quid down if nothing happens. Not good, my friend. Not good. It's difficult, isn't it? No business is completely fireproof. Any business can go bust. I remember someone saying, do you remember in the banking crash when Northern Rock got bailed out? They said the only business now that won't go bust is Northern Rock because it's just had a bailout. But yeah, really bad news. And obviously, hopefully Adam, our friend down there, is not hard up for 900 quid. And he can take the loss if indeed it happens. It's these stories you're hearing about people who've got 10 grand in it that was their entire savings that's now worth 1 grand or whatever. But hey, there is risk in any investment, isn't there? It's a savings account unless, you know. Chris Wilder. Has it gone through yet? Still radio silence there. Unbelievable. I think Warnock can push Borough to the Premier League next season. I'll tell you when the window closes. He needs some players, but if anyone can, Warnock can. Pucker J, how am I today? Thank you for asking. I'm very, very good. Apart from my neck hurts a little bit. I have some issues with my neck. Shaylee says I should go to her massage guy, but I'm too much of a wimp. Well, that's good news, Adam. If you can front the loss, that's good news. But still, yeah, bad business. Bad business. Moore strikes over from distance, says the Cardiff Twitter. Cardiff won. Watford won in that big sort of top, you call it top 8 clash, would you? I suppose you would. It's Cardiff are 8th, aren't they? If I'm not misremembering the table. Ooh. Can I mention scores? There's no such thing as a spoiler here. First thing to get it gets it. Is this Football Index? The license has gone. So I know they've gone into admin. How am I feeling about Ipswich in the playoff places? Well, they're in the playoff places at the moment. They've been in there before in League One, but obviously there was some idea that the manager maybe was not competent to keep them in there, let's just say. But we'll see. Let's see if they can keep this clean sheet against Plymouth and get the win. They want to give out shares in the company as compensation. I don't see the point. Well, if it bounces back, it'll be worth it. But how many years is it going to take for it to bounce back as well? 3-0 Carlisle, 2-0 Forest Green. Flashing up there. Next goal to come at Wickham, says Will. We've only had one championship goal this half, haven't we? Did I put it down? Forest. And was it Glenn Murray or was it a home zone goal? We will find out. The dubious goals. Is that still a thing? The dubious goals commission? We'll have a look at that for us. So as things stand in the championship, it's going to be a good day for Swansea with a win and potentially Watford dropping points. It's going to be a bad day for Birmingham. They're losing at home to Bristol City. It's going to be a good day for Bournemouth. As things stand, they're going back into the playoff spots. I think we can say it's going to be a bad day for Watford because even, they're drawing, they're not losing. They're going to lose ground. And speaking of losing ground, QPR 0, Huddersfield 1. Wow, if they can pull this off, would be a very big win for Huddersfield today. I remember doing the preview of this, and the numbers were so clear that QPR are in a good run and Huddersfield are in a bad run. But championship, everybody. Just as it pertains to Ipswich in the playoffs, Charlton have just gone 1-0 down to Shrewsbury. Sean Goss, the goal scorer. We're just awaiting the Huddersfield scorer. Juninho Bakuna is the goal scorer there. They're going down the left. Pippa into the box. Knocks it back. Oh, what a strike. First time hit by Bakuna. Slams it into the back of the net. That's really good news for Huddersfield, who've been sliding and sliding for a long while now, very much since the injuries to Eiting and Koroma. They'd looked good up until then. But slip sliding down the table since. Let's see what the live league table says. And you see, that looks pretty safe to me. 41 points from 36. With, say, 10 to go. So it could be a really big result for Huddersfield. Obviously, still need to pick up 6 to 8 points in the last 10 games. But if they finish with high 40s, then you wouldn't have thought Rotherham in their current spot are going to get up towards that total. Bournemouth 2, Barnsley 2. Barnsley are great, aren't they? Just when you think they're going away, no, they're not. Barnsley have equalised, which is going to flip around. Let's see if we can get it to go live on SofaScore. That's going to flip around those playoff positions. Keep your eyes on that. That's going to change in real time, right in front of your eyes. And there it goes. So as things stand now, all change. We'll find out the goal scorer. Frieser in the 60th minute has scored for Barnsley. And all change. Barnsley go back into 6th position. Oh, and Lincoln have equalised at the top of League One. Wow. We're going to see the goal. Let's just focus on this. We'll try and have a look at the League One table in a bit. Oh, what a great goal as well. Was that Brennan Johnson? Absolutely slammed that one into the top corner for Lincoln, who have gone level and will now fancy winning this one. It's Birmingham 0, Bristol City 2. Bad day for Birmingham this. Huddersfield winning as well. Remember, Rotherham Coventry not playing. So there's one thing that isn't going to get worse in terms of those two. Antoine Semenyo has scored, and Birmingham's atrocious home record is going to continue. So 2 quick goals in our championship games. We're going to see the Barnsley equaliser from Dominic Frieser now. Knocked into the front, laid off, crossed in from the right. Little deflection on the cross. It's a good finish by Frieser. First time, left foot. It just opens up his left side foot and angles it into the corner. Nice finish. Sorry, Morgan Rogers, the goal scorer for Lincoln, not Brennan Johnson. And we're just waiting to see Antoine Semenyo, who has put Bristol City 2-0 up against Birmingham. It could be a bad day for Birmingham, this one. And you've got a hard run of games coming up. Remember, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th in the table across the next 4 games. And we're about to see the goal. Semenyo scoring the 2nd here. And Birmingham are in possession in the back 4. Oh, no. Oh, it's a horrible goal. Oh, God. So Birmingham have literally got the ball in the left-back area. I guess that would be Pedersen. He gets closed down. And then Semenyo scored pretty much exactly the same goal, closing down the goal kick at Swansea, didn't he? Closed down Woodman and the ball bounced for him. Well, if you press the keeper, and exactly the same happens here, Etheridge comes out, smacks the ball straight against Semenyo, and it just flies straight in the goal. So Semenyo, getting his reward for pressing in consecutive away games for Bristol City, for sure. Thank you, Jim. Saturdays with Ben are great, aren't they, folks? Very, very kind. Woof. Right. All changed. That was so bad from Etheridge. Wasn't great from the left back either. Goodness me. Deft flick from Frieser from Woodrow's cross. Excellent. Rob, sorry. Might have to leave now and have a cry. Not a good day for Birmingham. Another case of flurry of goals after that. Always the same, George, isn't it? Barnsley currently, as it stands, cross your fingers if you're a Barnsley fan, going to be unbeaten in 10. Couple of draws slipping in, but hey, excellent. When the heck are Rotherham going to fit all these games in? There's going to have to be a 4-game week at some. There you go. 4 in a week. It's going to have to be a 4-game week at some point. Looks like Stoke have hit the post against Borough. Woodrow fires just wide from 20 yards. Barnsley tails up. There's already been a turnaround in outcome in that game, hasn't they? With Barnsley leading and then Bournemouth leading. Could there be another swing and you get a Barnsley leading all over again? We will see. We will see indeed. Cabano is having his first bad game for Borough, says Matthew in the chat on Borough. Well, it's very, very finely poised. Both of the big games towards the top of the league are level. Cardiff 1, Watford 1, Bournemouth 2, Barnsley 2. Down at the bottom seems to be going against Birmingham, who are losing. Huddersfield are also winning down there, and Wycombe are winning as well. It can be much worse in terms of the outcomes for Birmingham at the moment. Let's bring up the live league table. It's not terminal bad for Birmingham's season, is it? But they now seem to be relying on Rotherham not capitalising on their games in hand. They've left the door open for them. Obviously, there's the possibility that Rotherham, can't get the points in the games in hand. Although their points per game is 1 point per game, which would project that at 36 games, they'll have 36 points, which if Birmingham lose today, which at 2-0 down, I suspect they're going to, would put Birmingham in the relegation zone, wouldn't it? And that is not what Aitor Karanka was brought there to do. What is going on at MK Dons? They were 2-0 up on 55 minutes, and now it's 2-2 on 62 minutes. Big turnaround there. You can see at the top of the table, a goal for Watford would put them into second place. Be a big turnaround there. A goal for Cardiff would put them into seventh, and Bournemouth would drop all the way down into eighth position. Double substitution at Ipswich as well. Ipswich, my lot, are defending a 1-goal lead, and there is Cole Skews, I think, for the first time this season. Cook obviously wants some experience in there, and Skews has played many, many, many times in his career. Discount Stanley at your peril. Well, absolutely, yeah. James, well, he's not the first Birmingham fan today to think that Blues are going down. Birmingham win at Hillsborough was huge for them. Yeah, that was a big, big 6-pointer, wasn't it? Double substitution for Plymouth as well. Is Jeffcott on? Let me just check this. Jeffcott always scores in the Super Stream. I bet he's just come on for Plymouth. This could be the doomsday knell for Ipswich's win today. Luke Jeffcott on for Niall Ennis. What chance of Jeffcott goal for Plymouth in the last 25 minutes? I wonder. Lots of substitutions happening. Double sub for, stop it. Still time for Jeffcott to strike. Merson's going through a weather report. Oh, God, it does look like it's hammering it down in South London. DK on for Barnsley. George, wouldn't mind if all the scores stay the same at the moment. Yeah, I suppose Barnsley, in terms of just defending 6th place, that's fine. It's just on a bit of a knife edge, especially a Cardiff goal, and that starts looking very, very tight. Karanka out. It's not the first one of those we've heard this season, is it? A huge credit to the comeback from Bolton in League Two. Non-league candidates to the playoffs. Unbelievable, yeah. Who do I think will finish second in the Championship? Look, I've got a whole 10 weeks of content on that, or a whole 10 games of content on that. I'm relying on that to be interesting. So let's just see and wait for it to unfold. Granit Xhaka. Just seeing some pictures from the chance for, was that Ismail Assar? Chance for Watford, yeah. Certainly looks, though, like a 3-way battle at the moment between Swansea, Brentford, and Watford. 2 goals in the Donny game from 800 quid. Go on, Donny, then, for Tom's stake. Can't wait to go to Cheltenham anyway. Nice. Will I do a dearly departed for Birmingham? If I get enough people ask me to do it, of course I will, yeah. We will see. Plymouth. Ooh, coming forward. There's a man over on the far post there. I smell danger in the Ipswich game. You hate to see it. 67 minutes coming up in the Ipswich game. They are leading 1-0. In all of our other games, earlier it was Leeds 0, Chelsea 0. It's Palace 1, West Brom 0. No goals, by the way, since minute 62 in the Championship. Luton 0, Swansea 1 earlier. It's Birmingham 0, Bristol City 2. It is a bad day for Birmingham today. Couldn't be much worse in terms of the results going against them, and obviously in terms of their own result, masters of your own destiny. Bournemouth 2, Barnsley 2, and Cardiff 1, Watford 1. Nicely poised for a possible winning goal in either of those games. Derby 0, Millwall 1. Borough 2, Stoke 0. Forest 1, Reading 0. Although Reading might get away with one if everybody else draws, mightn't they? If they do lose today, the Royals. Oh, great save in the Papa John's final there. Pompey going close against Salford. It is Derby 0, Millwall 1. I think I said that one, didn't I? Borough 2, Stoke 0. Forest 1, Reading 0. Yeah, I'm repeating myself, sorry. Rangers 0, Huddersfield 1. Rotherham and Cov postponed. Wycombe 1, Preston 0. Literally everybody other than Birmingham down the bottom is winning. Ipswich 1, Plymouth 0. I did say I was going to check and see what was going on at the top of League One, particularly after Lincoln equalised, whether that moved the needle. Well, it did a little bit. You can see there, Lincoln, that point, puts them back level with Peterborough. Obviously, they were losing on 62. All looking very, very tight at the top of League One. Hull are winning. Lincoln are drawing. Doncaster are drawing. Ipswich are winning. Accrington are level. Charlton are losing at home to Shrewsbury. So I hate to say this because I support them. It could be a good day for Ipswich. But there's still plenty of time for Accrington to score again, for Plymouth to score, and for Charlton to equalise and then take the lead. I've seen that before. Hey, well, not those exact events, but keep your comments coming. Is this the end of Karanka? Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Although, Alan, if you've seen their next 4 games, what sense does it make to shove a new manager in for 4 really hard games? But then also, although Birmingham have done it before, haven't they, with Harry at the end of that season? I was going to say, what's the point changing with 8 games to go? But if it keeps you in the division and you get a little surge, need to wait until they depart for the dearly departed. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Every time I watch Swans, I feel like I age a year. Nice. Iain wants Salford, Newport, Forest Green and Cheltenham to all go up. Anthony wants the final whistle at Bournemouth. He'll take a draw. Barnsley are hanging on to that 6th position at the moment. Remember, I think Swansea, in terms of from a Barnsley point of view, I think Swansea play Cardiff and Bournemouth by the end of the week. So I do actually accept this Barnsley blow the whistle at the moment argument because there's some hard games for the opponents at the moment. Ooh, 2-0 Hull. Interesting. New manager bounced. Stop it, Jim. So Hull, looks like Keane Lewis Potter has scored again. And Hull are most definitely going to be 6 points clear unless Lincoln can get a winner, in which case another 2 points on for Lincoln. Oh, deflected goal. And my God, Birmingham fans, please don't tune out. But it's Birmingham 0, Bristol City 3. And sometimes the manner of a defeat can do a lot for a manager. And if Birmingham go on to lose this one 4-0, maybe, I don't know. Well, what's the difference between 3 and 4-0? But sometimes you see that big defeat coming in and you really, really worry about a manager. Karanka obviously did a great job to get Borough promoted, didn't he? Had Forest up at the top of the table, but just not worked here at Birmingham, has it? And Callum O'Dowda is back in the team. He slid through and he finishes with the right foot. Birmingham 0, Bristol City 3. And if you're a Coventry or a Rotherham fan, you'll be very pleased to see that. If you're a Birmingham fan, not good. Not good at all. Let's see your reactions to that in the chat. Oh, look at that. That's very good news for Hull. Hull have just had a really good couple of minutes, haven't they? Hull are going 6 points clear by the look of it. Goodness me. Let's have a look at this Rochdale goal. Humphreys is going to score it. Not edge of the box. Step over. Good feet. Oh, in off the post. That's a tremendous goal from Humphreys for Rochdale there. Good feet. Sticks it right in the corner. Bobbly one. Difficult for the keeper to get anywhere near. It's bobbly and in off the post as well. Wow. Time to unleash the Kraken upon Karanka. He clearly has the black spot. Pucker J, calm down. You've written the same comment about 5 times. There we go. We are all aware. Even before you told us 5 times that Rotherham have 4 games in hand. The question is, okay, stop it. You've commented again. It's fake news, Simbin soon. We've read the comment now. Oh, dear. Right, in he goes. Sorry, Pucker J. See you in 5 minutes. That was the same comment like at least 7 times, wasn't it? We know how that ends. But yes, remember, don't all blindly look at a league table and think that a team who's in the bottom 3 is automatically going to score, any more than 4 points from 4 games in hand. There's a reason why they're in the bottom 3. I'm not going to pop at Rotherham, of course. I'm just saying, don't equate 4 games in hand with 8 points or 10 points or something. Just does not work that way down the bottom. It would take a big uptick for Rotherham to score 6 points from the 4 games in hand, for example. But you'd rather be in their position than Birmingham's at the moment. Oof. Do Rotherham have 4 games in hand? I wish someone would say. It was 6 times, so I need to go in the bin. Can anybody tell me in the comments how many games in hand that Rotherham have got? Chris, if only there was a way to find out. Shall I just leave the league table? No, it's on League One, so I can even click the button. Still mainly Barnsley with odd, dangerous Bournemouth a break. Good on the players. Thank you, guys. Just like to confirm that Rotherham have 4 games in hand. We'll win them all, says Iain. There you go. Too many. There speaks a Birmingham fan. Also worth mentioning the mental fixture congestion they will have. Exactly. And COVID related. Yeah, if they have had an outbreak, some of their players could be unfit in that regard. Alan Judge into the box for Ipswich. His shot deflected wide as I start to get nervous. Stephen says Lincoln and Pompey falling apart at the wrong time of the season. Not sure Posh, Hull and Pompey don't mind. Well, indeed. Good news for Rotherham is they have a better goal difference. So just one win. That's a very good point, Alan. One win in 3 games. Can they do it? That would be below the projection, wouldn't it? We're projecting a point per game for Rotherham. That's what they've done throughout the season. But often teams that survive, I mean, go figure, trend up in the last 8 games, don't they? Generally, the bottom of the division trends up in the last 8 games, unless we have a whipping boy scenario, in which case everyone's on the bench and the bottom 3 just stagnate and fall off a cliff, don't they? So, Jay, is there any point in sacking Karanka now? Team is shockingly bad. They should be better, shouldn't they? Should be better. Hello, everybody. Bournemouth 2, Barnsley 3. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Barnsley have turned it around again. They are little scamps, aren't they, Barnsley? They are absolute little Yorkshire scamps. What a run they're on. Barnsley have gone 3-2 up at Bournemouth. That is sensational if they win that game. They were in the lead 1-0. They were behind 2-1. Now they're in the lead 3-2 again. Wow. I'm sorry if you're a neutral. How can you not love Barnsley? They are menaces to society, aren't they, Barnsley? Wow. Sensational. I can't wait to see the goal. Carlton Morris. Someone was asking me, why doesn't Morris start for Barnsley? Because he keeps coming off the bench and scoring. That's why. Sensational from Barnsley. There's still 10 minutes to go, and they've been behind in this game and ahead, so could still lose it. But just brilliant stuff from Barnes. They're in League One 2 seasons ago, for goodness sake. Brilliant stuff from Barnsley. And about 20 minutes ago, they were outside the playoff positions, weren't they? I can't wait to see the Carlton Morris goal for Barnsley, who are just having a hell of a run, aren't they? Sensational stuff. Get out of it, Jim. Condescending. If you've heard any part of my coverage for Barnsley, I've been anything but condescending. Brilliant stuff. A fully deserved goal for Barnsley. Mowat free kick headed in by Morris. I cannot wait to see it. Here it comes. They've gone to Clinton Morrison. Sensational stuff, this. Mowat again. Yeah, pings the free kick in. Towering header from Morris, and he flicks it, into the far corner. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Barnsley. Utterly brilliant stuff. And if that stays the same, Barnsley, we're not talking about any of the parachute teams. Barnsley are going to be on a run of 8 wins in 9 games, which is just magnificent work from the Tykes, isn't it? Wow. Let's see if they can hold on. Oh, and Reading have equalised. Yaku Maite powering through the middle. And he puts it straight through Breeze Sambury, hits it early and slams it into the net. Maite clenches his fist. So does John O'Shea and Veljko Paunovic. Could be a big goal for Reading as well. I know there's not much difference between 0 points and 1 point, but 1 point's better than 0 points, and there's a chance of 3 points now as we go through the end of this round of games. Wow. Maite scores for Reading. I'm still reeling at the Barnsley turnaround here. Brilliant stuff. Derby hit the crossbar as well. They're trailing 1-0. Let me just pop up the Reading goal there. We're going to have a look at the top 6 now. Barnsley are winning, and that's going to mean a 5-point gap, isn't it? Let me double check. Let me double check my math and see what we're saying. This could be a hell of a day for Barnsley, couldn't it? Look. Oh, get in the bin, SofaScore, for goodness sakes. No, I love you, SofaScore. You're fantastic, and we rely on you every week. But there we go. Look. 5 points gap at the moment between Barnsley in 6th and Bournemouth in 7th. Oh, my goodness me. We were talking about a tight playoff race about 25 minutes ago. Remember, a Bournemouth goal swings that back 3 points, of course, doesn't it? And it'll be 58 plays 69. A Cardiff goal would put Cardiff onto 57 and above Bournemouth, indeed, as well. Oh, goodness me. It's on a knife edge, but sensational. Sorry, quick shout out to Reading as well, who are on 61. If Reading hadn't have scored that goal when they did, there would have been a moment, in fact, I wasn't on the live league table, where Barnsley would have been in fifth above Reading, but Reading did indeed get that equalising goal. They're going to move to 61, and wow, what a division, hey? Still, more could happen before full time. Sensational, absolutely sensational. Blow the whistle, ref. The Barnsley fans now getting a little bit nervous. What are you doing, Pucker J? Got timed out. Think I'm going to leave the stream and never return. Well, look, you got timed out because you wrote the same comment 7 times, okay? And you clogged up the stream. If you can accept that you clogged up the stream and that's why you're putting time out, you're more than welcome here, my friend. But come on. Deary me. Just don't clog the stream up. Don't cross the streams. Goodness me. Who are Barnsley's next fixtures? Pucker J, calm down, my friend. You put this. It was only that you put the same one 7 times. That was all. That was all. It's okay. Good man. There you go. No problem at all. We just want everyone to get their go in the stream, yeah? Barnsley have Wickham and Wednesday next, do they? Sensational. Don't even need to ask on your view for team of the week. It's Barnsley. Well, let's see if they can get over the line in this game. Barnsley have easy games next. Leeds fan who wouldn't mind seeing Barnsley getting promoted. The Premier League needs a Yorkshire derby. See if they can get over the line in this game. Barnsley, little scamps. Hey, sensational. Oh, another chance for Stoke there. I wonder what the XG in the Stoke game is. They seem to have had plenty of chances today, but Borough are doing the business. Enjoyed your appearance on the Swans cast, even though you're anti-Welsh. I'm the worst, aren't I? I am just the worst human being. Iain, good numbers watching live. Well, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Thank you, Iain. Very kind for the super chat. There's a car alarm going off outside. Hopefully it's not mine. Birmingham team of the week. Yeah, I'm not sure their fans will appreciate that nomination, but there we go. Barnsley have a good fast passing game, better than anything Big Sam could ever dream of. Well, that seems to be getting them towards the playoffs. Remember, Big Sam has won the playoffs twice, hasn't he? Once with Bolton and once with West Ham. Yes, I have seen the next Blues fixtures, Jay. Right, let's get you some updates and some times on these games. From the top, as it goes, we have Palace 1, West Brom 0, 89 minutes gone. Excuse me. We have Birmingham 0, Bristol City 3. I think that one might be done. Into stoppage time. Bournemouth and Barnsley, 89 minutes. 3-2 to Barnsley. Cardiff Watford 1-1. They're only at the 87th minute. Derby Millwall is 1-0 Millwall. 86 minutes in that one. So that might be our last one to finish today. Borough 2, Stoke 0. They're at 87. Forest and Reading are at 88, 1-1. Huddersfield, that could be a really big win for them as well, especially given Birmingham are losing and Rotherham are not playing. So there is going to be no rising tide at the bottom for anyone today. And Wycombe going to be getting a win if they can hold out for another 4 more minutes of stoppage time. I have the Ipswich game on the screen there, so assuming I follow is reasonably close. 86-47 is on the clock there. Let's do some more comments here. I'm muting you for the last few minutes. Enjoy it, Alfonso. Let's see if Huddersfield can get over the line, my friend. It's going to be like this every week. How's my heart? I suppose my heart's okay because my team are in League One, but it might be ticking a little bit faster if not. We must be due our usual late goals. Well, we'll see. Sky are telling us that we are now into stoppage time at Bournemouth. We have a goal, but it doesn't mean a lot. It's Middlesbrough 3, Stoke 0. 88th minute goal. Big win for Borough today. Middlesbrough 3, Stoke 0. Thank you, Lewis and George, on that one. We're going to see the goal with Chris Kamara in just a second. Mendes Lang is the scorer. It's going to be another counter-attack goal, actually. Here they come. 3-on-3. Mendes Lang clean through. Touch. Oh! He's showing off there, Mendes Lang. A lovely little dinked finish there. Waited for the keeper to buy his dummy and just dinked it into the corner. And yes, unbelievable, Jeff. Are we going to get any stoppage time goals? I wonder. 4 minutes added on at Bournemouth. That's the big one, isn't it? Goodness me. What a goal. There we go. Another reason why we want Barnsley to win. Super chat incoming. Warnock got his dressing room revenge. Wasn't happy with the Stoke dressing rooms earlier in the season. Let me just update the ticker at the bottom to say that it is Borough 3, Stoke 0. There are our scores ticking along the bottom. We're in stoppage time in pretty much all of the games. And the Premier League game and the League One game as well. As it stands, Palace 1, West Brom 0. 3 minutes of stoppage time being played there. It's Birmingham 0, Bristol City 3. Bad day for Birmingham. Bournemouth 2, Barnsley 3, which would be a kind of epic victory for Barnsley if they can get over the line here. Cardiff 1, Watford 1. Points shared there, I suppose. And it's full times now coming through. Birmingham 0, Bristol City 3 is a full time. Derby 0, Millwall 1. Borough 3, Stoke 0. Forest 1, Reading 1. Rangers 0, Huddersfield 1. That will be a big result as well, given that Coventry, Rotherham can't score any points because they're not playing, and Birmingham are not going to score any points. Look at the weather at Bournemouth. Christ alive. They're into stoppage time. It's absolutely hailing down. These Barnsley players for getting through some of the conditions they've got through this week in that awful game against Derby as well. It's Palace 1, West Brom 0, full time there. Snowing in Bournemouth. I thought it was hailing. Crikey. Bournemouth trying to rally late. Barnsley just too determined. Intense as the rain lashes down once more. You've got to love it. Look at Swansea. Yeah, we know about the Swansea fixtures. Cardiff and Bournemouth next. Bristol City have won. Jeff says 5 home defeats on the trot, 3 wins. I don't know. And Streaky Lee is nowhere to be seen, so we can't blame him. Typical weather for Barnsley. They'll be all right. And I'm glad to hear it's lovely and sunny in glorious Cambridgeshire there for Norwich 2000. We are waiting for full times or potentially late playoff goals here occurring. Are we going to get any? 4 minutes of stoppage time are being played now at Derby against Millwall. I think they were furthest behind. They've played 94 at Bournemouth. What a win this would be. They were a goal up. They were 2-1 down. We've now played the minimum 4 minutes of stoppage time. Let's see how much longer they go. And can Barnsley hang on for a sensational 8th win in 9? They have done it. Goodness me. What a win for Barnsley. Barnsley win 3-2. Look at the bench. Woodgate goes over to congratulate them. Ishmael and his staff have won again. 8 wins in 9 for Barnsley, who for a little hot minute there were in 5th place, weren't they? And then Reading went and equalised. But hey, they did what they needed to. Bournemouth 2, little scamps 3. They are absolute little scamps, Barnsley, aren't they? Scampering up that Championship league table. Brilliant stuff. Liam will be pleased with this one. MK Dons have just scored a 92nd minute, we think, winner. Lincoln have lost at the top of League One. Ipswich are 2.5 minutes into 4 minutes of stoppage time, defending a 1-0 lead. It's full time. Borough 3, Stoke 0. Easy win for Borough today. Big win as well. Ipswich defended a long ball there. Chambers clears, helped on. And Ipswich have won a throw-in, which they will hopefully spend at least a minute and a half taking. Late yellow card for NG at Cardiff. They're still playing. It's Cardiff 1, Watford 1. We are closing in on full times here. Almost a second for Huddersfield. Now, could be a really big win for Huddersfield. They're 1-0 up at QPR. Ipswich are 3.5 minutes into stoppage time now. Have they gone live to Cardiff? A free kick here for Watford. Very, very late in the day. Is that Messina going to take it left-footed? Let's see where this one ends up. They are live. And it's gone in! No way! Watford have won in the 93rd minute. Holy crap. All the bench are off. It's going to be McCarthy's first loss. Wow! Watford are going second in the 93rd minute. I don't believe it. It went right through the keeper as well. Ipswich have won. Oh, my goodness. Messina with the free kick. It's dreadful goalkeeping. How has he not saved it? Oh, my God. He's dived underneath it, flipped his right hand up. Huge goal for Watford. And all of those 3 teams in the race for second place have all eked out away wins this weekend. There can't be any time left. Cardiff are literally just going to kitchen sink it and try and get the ball forward. Incredible stuff from Watford, who has scored a 94th minute goal. Will it be enough to make them win this game? It's going to put them in second, and incredible scenes off the bench there. Pitch invasion from all the staff for Watford. What a super stream this has been. I don't know how long they've got to play. It's Derby 0, Millwall 1, full time. Ipswich have won. I think Ipswich may well be in the playoff spots in League One. Unbelievable ending at Watford. Incredible stuff. Incredible ending to this one. I don't know how long they've got to go. That goal went in. I think they were due 4 minutes of stoppage time. That goal was definitely, and it is full time. Watford have won with virtually the last kick of the game there. Incredible finish here on the Super Streams. Absolutely incredible. We're just waiting now for QPR and Huddersfield, but what an afternoon. Unbelievable scenes. Let's have a look here. We're just waiting for QPR and Huddersfield. So, full times in the Premier League. Palace 1. It's full time at Wycombe. Sorry, I didn't spot that one there. We were waiting for that one as well. Right, full time in the Premier League. Palace 1, West Brom 0. Milivojevic penalty. Earlier in the day, Leeds 0, Chelsea 0. In the Championship, early kickoff. Luton 0, Swansea 1. Hurahan with a 3rd minute goal there. Horrible day for Birmingham today. They've lost and everybody else playing down the bottom has won. Yes, Wycombe is full time now. So Birmingham lose 3-0 at home to Bristol City. Semenyo and who scored the 3rd goal? I can't even remember. O'Dowda came on. Casey Palmer with the 1st goal. Huddersfield have won to complete Birmingham's nightmare day at the bottom. Sensational win for Barnsley. Barnsley 3-2 winners at Bournemouth. They were ahead, they were behind, and then they get the win. Carlton Morris with the winner. Even more sensational finish. Watford goes 2nd with a 94th minute free kick. All of these teams, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all doing the job this weekend without necessarily being very convincing. But hey, that's what you got to do. And Cardiff, a 1st defeat for Mick McCarthy as Cardiff City boss. It was Derby 0, Millwall 1. I say everybody down the bottom other than Birmingham got points. Well, Derby didn't, but still static enough for maybe them to not be looking over their shoulders. Look at the table in a minute. We'll look at the table in a minute. Borough 3, Stoke 0. Stoke, are they done? Is that the end of the season for them? They're right in the middle, aren't they? Borough still very outside shot of playoffs, but Warnock and a late run, who knows? Forest 1, Reading 1. Could have been worse for Reading, especially with Barnsley winning today and Watford winning, but they brought Maite on and he's got them the goal to get the point. QPR 0, Huddersfield 1. Big win for Huddersfield there, really important one. Rotherham and Coventry postponed. Wycombe 1, Preston 0. We're going to go to the table. In League 1, Ipswich 1, Plymouth 0. Now, SofaScore sometimes does some weird things at full time, so hopefully there's no bugs in the system, ghosts in the machine. Right, Norwich, well top. They play tomorrow. They go 10 points clear with a win if they can beat 2nd bottom Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich have won 7 on the trot. Wednesday have lost 6 on the trot. Watford with that late free kick from Messina. 69 points. Woof. Very, very tight up there and very, very dramatic end to the weekend. So all of them won. They all took it in turns. Brentford won last night. Swansea won at 12:15. Watford win very, very late in the day. Sensational chase going on. Now, remember, Swansea play Cardiff and Bournemouth later in the week as well. Brilliant stuff. Reading draw. They've now been caught up in terms of points by Barnsley, who win their 8th game out of 9. Bournemouth lose, and Bournemouth and Jonathan Woodgate are 5 points adrift. Cardiff lost right at the end. If Carlsberg made sets of results for Barnsley fans, it would have been these results. It's gone absolutely perfect. Other than Reading losing, basically, Barnsley have had a very, very good day. And with 10 games to go, Barnsley are 5 points ahead in the playoff race. Sensational. Borough win. Outside shot as well for them. And Cardiff now looking outside shot. Look, 7 points and 8 points adrift. Millwall win. They go up to 49. Stoke, 48. They're on the beach, are they? Already they're 13 points off playoffs and 13 points, or even more, 16 off relegation. Bristol City win away again. Rangers lose at home to Huddersfield. Blackburn lost to Brentford, didn't they? Preston lost to Wycombe. Luton lost. Forest drew. Huddersfield, big win for them. 41 points. You would think it's over the 10-year average, 45 to survive. Can you see anyone of those teams in the bottom 3 scoring more than 45 points? Who knows? We'll see what Rotherham do with their 3 games in hand. Derby, 39. Still need a few more wins, don't they? Coventry didn't play. They were postponed. Birmingham, bad day for them. They stick on 35. And now Rotherham have 4 games in hand. And Wednesday, good luck to them. They play runaway leaders Norwich tomorrow. Wycombe, a win for them. They're only 2 points shy of Sheffield Wednesday in the chase, not to finish bottom. Wow. Guys, I know there's a lot of comments come in, but I am done after that. We're 3 hours, 46 minutes in. What a sensational ending to the Super Stream today, particularly for Barnsley and Watford. Some big, big results. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you're watching any more football, I'm going to be back for Norwich and Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow, but I think I need to lay down in a dark room. That was the Saturday Super Stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And, oh, what a day. All that remains for me to say is a big thank you again, and over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.